It's not a hot mic. Hello, everyone. It is Friday. It is No Man's Sky Abandoned Run Day. And it's not a hot mic. It is a very, very sloppily, very fast Jason cut of a song that I really, really love. I really, really love from a game announcement. So they haven't officially put the song out. As soon as they do, I will be using the heck out of it. But I was very, very, very taken with it. I love it. It's one of the coolest ones ever. So that's why. It's very, very rough. I usually can edit out and mute a lot of stuff. Like you can't hear voices. There's voices in the original trailer. But there's some noises that you can't really do. It's hard to remove everything unless you have the master copy. And at that point, you don't need to remove anything because you have the master copy. Anyway, if you guys can guess the game, the trailer this is from, it's not out yet. There's a game trailer for it. Outer Worlds 2? Nope, that's not this one. Hope everyone is having a great weekend, Mike. I'm having a really good weekend so far. Love it. And that's where it cuts to the Pet Shop Boys, if you know. Grounded 2, GTA 6, no. No, this is more spacey than GTA 6. Pineapple pizza for every hour of no grave? Nope, I don't agree to that. Nope, never. I would never do that. That's gross. Death Trooper says, I'm just eating peanut butter, bread, and drinking some iced tea. Oh, iced tea is so good. Iced tea for me is dangerous, because I'll drink a gallon of that stuff. You get some iced tea, some sweet iced tea. Oh, it's the best. You guys know I don't do hot stuff. And I mean, some drinks are good hot. Hot cider is okay. Hot chocolate's okay. I prefer everything cold if I can do it that way. Iced coffee, iced tea. Oh yeah, it's all good. Directive 8020, nope. Nope. Dead Space 2? It is not. I do have Dead Space. I do have Dead Space music for you, Scar. If you can't even tell what the heck this is. So, oh no, I can't play it because it's copyrighted. Never mind. So, there is a copyright. I don't know why. YouTube is very strict about copyright, so I won't play it. But there is a song that they did for the trailer for Dead Space that they redid for the remake or remaster. Yeah, I think it's remake. And it was really, really good. Anyway, raspberry iced tea. Oh, that's good. I like mango. Mango iced tea. Oh my God. That's my my weakness. Give me some mango iced tea. Not Space Engineers, not Death Stranding. This is a trailer for a game that I don't know if it's gonna be great. Intergalactic Trinary Guru. I think you got it. Is there anyone else who said Intergalactic before? I don't see it. Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet is the game. They announced the trailer, I think, back in December, and it's the music is good. Trent Reznor, I love. If you listen to Tool back in the day, I don't know, most of you guys probably didn't, but I love that. Like, oh, good stuff. Anyway, this is from Intergalactic: The Space or the Heretic Prophet. I just love this like space like Trent. It's Trent Reznor. You could hear Trent Reznor in it the entire time. Like this is his style, but I love the like space airiness to it. Anyway, I love it. I love that. You give me some synth and I'm okay. I'll take synth any day of the week. Anyway, today we are going to be doing our abandoned run. We're going to be continuing our abandoned run in No Man's Sky. So let's get over to the game. There we are. Music is Dune Awakening is also really good. Dude, Paul, I use the music for the main menu. So this is the Dune main menu. I absolutely love it. It's really good too. It has that synth, like 80s synth wave to it, the new wave. Oh man, it's so good. So this is the Dune main menu music. And I use it all the time. It's so good. I'm trying to stop a rebellion in the altars. Dude, Mike, I might have caught on to your arm cutting idea, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. That game is so good, but it's such a different kind of game. It's a lot of relationship stuff that I wasn't expecting at all. I thought, oh, you're going to do this. It's a base building game. And it is, but there is a lot of relationship stuff in there with yourself. Not like, not romance. It's more of relationship and trust building, which is crazy. Anyway, let's jump into our abandoned run. And before we actually get into it, Paul, I heard you might be doing some Dune tomorrow. Is that true, Paul? Yes, I am finally doing a live stream on Dune tomorrow. First game other than No Man's Sky in a while, dude. Paul, it's such a good game, and there is a lot of meat there. Like, I've been playing, I think I'm up to 70 hours. Let me look. I think I'm up to 70 hours. I'm at 68.9. I'm almost at 69 hours. So, yeah, and I feel like I'm maybe reaching the middle point. Like, I might be reaching the, like, quote-unquote halfway mark, which is crazy. Anyway, let's get in here. Let's get into my abandoned run right there. Boom. And then I see Ricey in the chat as well. Ricey, good seeing you as well. Always awesome seeing you. Are you streaming today? Guys, Ricey, Paul, you guys are, if you want to, drop your links. That way people know to follow you. Put those links in there so people know. Paul is streaming Dune tomorrow. Ricey, are you doing a yes, he is. He's doing a community night. The Friday night community night. Back with Ricey this week. So absolutely, guys, if you want some cool items in No Man's Sky, pets, things like that, hang out with the community night. Flowery Squirrel's gonna be, he's always there generally. No, not always, but generally there. A whole bunch of people from the community kind of go in there and hang out and share stuff, talk, just chat about No Man's Sky. It's great. It's a fun time. Let me get my ship before I die. Scar says, once I get better tech, I'll probably stream something stupid. Do it. Do it. I'm told self-love is important, but when I try to get kicked out of Starbucks, well, maybe other people don't appreciate your self-love, Dr. Pong. I know, they tell me the same thing all the time. Like, Jason, please don't do that in Burger King. All right, fine. Gaming Legend said, sadly, I can't make it to the event tonight. Next week, I'm on a trip out of town. Nice. Hopefully it's a good reason you're out, Gaming Legend. Hopefully it's a good one. So we need to find 2 more graves. So the rules that I've set for myself, and again, we're playing an abandoned mode run, and so that's it. What we've set ourselves as a challenge is I have to find 5 of the glyphs before I can use a portal to go anywhere. So I'm up to, I believe, 3. I am up to 3. I have 3 out of 5. So I need 2 more of the glyphs before I can use a portal. And in abandoned mode, the only way that I can think of, the only way that I've seen to get a glyph is to find a grave. There's no storyline, and there's no other aliens to talk to. There's no travelers, there's no Korvax, there's nobody. The only other aliens you'll run into are animals. And the Sentinels are around, but they're not going to help you. So you have to just find a grave in order to get a glyph. And that's kind of rough. So there's things you can do to increase your chances, but there's no guaranteed, like, hey, if you just go get this item, it'll always find a grave for you. No, there's no way. So are we on a moon? Are we on a moon? Yeah, we are. We are on a moon around a gas giant. Okay. I don't know if this is the best moon to do this on, though. Let's go see if we can get another moon. Because you do want to go on a moon simply because moons are smaller planetary bodies. And so the items, the buildings and, crash ships, everything is kind of smooshed together because there's not a lot of surface area. That's generally why you want to go to a moon to look for things. You can also go to like a dead moon. It has no air. It makes traveling a lot easier because you can use your jetpack more often. And there are less buildings on a dead moon, an airless moon. So it kind of lowers your odds of finding a random planet. You'll find whatever you're looking for. So we've been to that one. We've not been to this one over here. What is this? It is a lost to fire. Aggressive sentinels. We don't want to deal with that. Aggressive sentinels means they will be all hounding me. They will just be going after me. All right. Let's go. Paul says I've spent about 6 hours between 3 moons and I haven't found one grave in my fugitive run. Oh my god. I think I'm up to, I can't remember what I was at. I think I'm up to 16 hours, 17 hours, something like that. It's under 20, has to be. That is not a, well, you know what? It's not, doesn't have a lot of moons on it. So we don't want to go there yet. No. That has a few moons. Okay, 4 moons, we'll go there. And I found 3, but Paul, I don't know if you saw, I found 1 grave last week in a 6-hour stream. The week before we found 0, and the week before that, so 3 weeks ago, I found 2 graves basically right next to each other. That's it. So in the like 16 hours of me running around, I found 3, and it was by sheer luck. Boom, boom, boom. Hexagonal moon. That's a exotic moon, so it's not going to have anything good. Well, anything I'm looking for. A fungal moon with aggressive sentinels. Don't want to deal with that. Let's go over here. Let's see what this moon is over here. Oh, really?
Technology recharge.
Run out of freaking fuel. Where are you at, moon? Oh, that looks like a promising moon. This looks like a good moon right here. Looks like a hot moon, a desert moon. Let's see. It is a abandoned moon. I'll take that. And it has dissonance on it, so it has corruption all over it. The irony of spending so much time researching for so few graves. It's a poetic in a way. Kind of. Now, normally, if you're trying to get the glyphs, the easiest way is just follow the storyline in No Man's Sky. At the end of the storyline, they give you the glyphs. I don't want to ruin it, but you end up earning the glyphs in the storyline. If you don't want to do that, go to a space station and talk to a traveler, and they will point you to their grave, and you can do that way. It's much easier. I'm in abandoned mode, which means there's no aliens to talk to here, so I can't go talk to somebody and have them show me where their grave is. And Tranquila, I could have sworn someone told me there's no animals in abandoned mode. I'm teasing you. I'm teasing. So we had this discussion, I think it was like probably a month and a half, 2 months ago at this point, about how there's not supposed to be anything in abandoned mode. There's no animals. There's no anything. And for whatever reason, I keep running into animals. Like a lot of them. There's a little armadillo over here. Or hedgehog. There's 9 animals here. I don't see any grave markers, so I'm gonna have to look around and let's head north, I guess. We're gonna head north. Doesn't seem like it's a dead planet to me. I'm just saying. It's an abandoned moon, huh? Not so abandoned. Carbon says, hey, Jason, Elon, and chat. I hope you're all doing good today. I'm doing really, really good. I've been playing a lot of Dune lately, probably too much. It's been distracting me from other things because I really, really, really like Dune. But it is a hardcore, like, survival game. So if you're not into survival, you're not into crafting and collecting resources, it's probably not going to do anything for you. But I absolutely love it. I love it. Even in abandoned mode, what? Jason, go to the aggressive sentinels. We want to see you squirm. I mean, I do have 3 shields, 1 bad one, but I got 2 decently good ones. Maybe not. 14%, it's not really good. But I do have sentinel ones? Yeah, okay, there you go. My sentinel upgrades are better. Core health, Core health, life support tanks, shield strength. Yeah, so that's good. I got one that's really, really good. So, I mean, it's okay. My multi-tool. My multi-tool is decent as well. Look at that. Let me do this. Is that going to make anything? So our damage potential is 32. 31. 30. Nope, it was better that way. Damn. All right. 31. 30. 32. If I put it in the center. 3269 to 3264. Now we're just min-maxing. So you can do that. 31. Nope. All right. I guess we're doing it that way. I do have 2 supercharged slots here. So I could go after Sentinels. Theoretically. So what I could do is... I can do this. Take my best upgrade here. That one, I guess. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just trying to organize this in a way that's going to be easier to put all my weapons together. Boom, boom. So I could do it like that. That's a mining beam, mining beam, mining beam, mining beam. Where's my mining beam? I have one more mining beam, I assume. Right there? Where's that next to? Oh, there's all the other mining beam stuff around it. I was wondering. I was like, why is that lit up? I hate that the mining beam and the bolt caster have the same freaking thing. They look exactly the same. They have the same design. All right. That is a bolt caster upgrade. Jerks. All right. There. 62 is pretty solid. Good enough. 62 versus my 30 that I had earlier. So I've basically doubled my damage just by moving it. Didn't add anything new to it. Just moved it. All right, let's go that way. Sorry. I think you saw Harmonic Camp on the HUD. Oh, no, no, no. So you saw Scrap. Where is it at? You saw Scrap show up. So if I run into Scrap, oh, now it's gone, of course. If you see Scrap, it'll come up like this same symbol as a Harmonic Camp. There you go, right there. That's Scrap. So it has the same symbol, but not the same thing. I wish they would add more symbols, but it is what it is. Chris says, Jason, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. However, I started several other abandoned saves, and they all have animals in them. Yeah, I don't know. This is my first, like, actual run-through of abandoned mode. Like, I've always dabbled in it. I, like, loaded one up, and I just, like, saw it, and I was like, okay, cool, and I kind of just played for, like, an hour. This is the first time I'm actually running through it to kind of notice all the little quirks and new things around. And I kind of like it. It makes it more difficult, and especially when you're playing on extreme mode like I am right now, it makes it that much more difficult to do, to complete or finish or whatever you want to do. So it's a beacon. We don't need that. The antenna to find a minor settlement. We don't need that, so let's go north. Bow. Good. So I am playing on abandoned mode, which takes away all the other alien intelligent life. It keeps the Sentinels, because Sentinels never go away. It takes away all of the story elements, because there's no one to give you storyline. You do get like the base building missions, things like that. You get the basic stuff, but you're not going to run into like, as far as I know, you're not going to run into like Dreams of the Deep, the ocean thing. You're not going to run into the pirate, missions. You're not going to run into any of that kind of stuff. You don't have the Artemis storyline because Artemis does not exist here. It takes away all of the elements. I would say probably 80 to 90% of the missions you get because there's no quest givers, because there's no one here. The only person we can see is Nada, and he's deactivated, or she's deactivated. So you get to see them, but they're not there. Like, they're not active. They don't talk to you. What the heck? Guess we're going north. No freighters? Yep, there's none of that. You can find crashed freighters, and you can find derelict freighters. But there's no, like, freighter attacks or pirate dreadnoughts or anything like that. You'll find crashed ones all over the place, but those people have been long gone. Gary says not being spammed with unwanted missions to the greatest thing about the abandoned mode. Yes, you won't get constant calls for settlements. We just had a settlement overhaul with the beacon update. But if you're in abandoned mode, you will not run into any settlements. There's none. No settlements whatsoever. You know what? We should attack some sentinels. I want to see. I did double my damage on my weapon. Let's see what the heck is going on here.
Technology recharge.
How many animals do I have on this planet? 7 out of 9. So I have 2 more. Uncommon flying diurnal, so it's flying during the day. And then underground, always active, so you gotta find a cave in order to get that one. All right. 1 flying, 1 cave animal. And the flying animal's only during the day, diurnal, instead of nocturnal. Look at these cool little beetles that we got on this planet. Yeah, like really bad. Look at that, his red feet. Ooh, red crystal feet. Looks like a murderer. He's a murderer. All right. Ooh, there's no guys around this. What are you? Inverted mirror. We don't need that. Hey, you're a big guy. Calm down. They still don't remove the target sweeper. Nope. One of these days, maybe they will take pity on me and they'll put it in the difficulty, the accessibilities, or some kind of menu to where it's on by default, but you can turn it off. Or, we've talked about this many times, give us upgrades for the sweeper. So, you have a visor here. There's no upgrades for your visor other than you can get a combat scope, but that's not really an upgrade. It's just a zoom in with your weapon. So it's technically an upgrade, but not really. So you can tell something's an upgrade if it highlights around it. Notice how there's a yellow box around the scanner because there's scanner upgrades. The visor doesn't really, the combat scope, you don't need a visor to use the combat scope as far as I know. So it's just, it's just there. So give me upgrades for my visor and give me a target sweep upgrade. And make it to where you can get a C class, a B, an A, and an S. And the C class just makes it a little bit smaller. So instead of a 1,500, 1,500 distance circumference, make it 1,000. And then the B class puts it down to 500. And the A class is 250. And the S class, it just tells you exactly where it is. Target sweeper is accurate. It does not need any kind of, doesn't give you a distance. It just tells you exactly where it needs to be. I would love that. Give me a feature like that. That way, it gives you an option to, hey, if you like the target sweeper, you don't care about it, awesome. But if you hate it, get that upgrade. I will upgrade the crap out of my my target sweep. Absolutely, I will upgrade that. That would be amazing. What about space station? Is there space stations in this module? Yes, there's an abandoned space station. There's no There's no like pirate stations. There's no regular space stations. You just get abandoned space stations, and they have Starship terminal. They have a multi-tool terminal and a backpack inventory terminal. That way you can still get your upgrades, kind of. You can upgrade your inventory at a space station. If you want to upgrade your weapons or you want to upgrade your technologies, you have to build a special kiosk at a base, and that kiosk will allow you to get to all of the upgrades. We're talking like your Starship hyperdrives. You have to go build an upgrade for that. You have to build a terminal to access those upgrades. No. Clip this for the devs. Oh, I've said it a lot, and I'm sure they've heard about it. I'm hoping they've heard something like that. That would be amazing. It's just, I don't know what their goal is for the game, and that's always going to be the thing. They see the metrics. They know how many people hate it. They know how many people don't like it, or they know how many people love it or use it. And ultimately, I think we're going to live with the target sweeper simply because long time ago, back when No Man's Sky first came out, there was no target sweeper. There was not such a thing. It literally, they gave you a mission, and the marker marked exactly where you had to go. And then I believe it was with the Beyond update. I think it was a 2019 or 2020. So like 3 or 4 years after the release of No Man's Sky, they decided, oh no, you know what? Marking exactly where you need to go, that's boring. We need to mark a general area and make you fly around in circles for 20 minutes. Because that's gameplay. That's fun. I don't know who decided that. I hope they were fired immediately. I hope they were reprimanded because it's a terrible, terrible scourge on my life. Please remove it. Or at least give me the option to turn it off or give me an upgrade. Give me an option to rid my life of it. Whether that's an upgrade, whether that's a setting, I don't care. Just let me turn it off some way. That is a harmonic scrap. I don't think that harmonic camps pop up on your visor like that. You have to see them, I think. I haven't actually manually looked for a harmonic camp, so I don't know. I usually just scan for them. There's a building over here of some kind. Hey! You know, I was just going to leave you alone, but no. You wanted it, so I gave it to you. Ooh, is that a, There's no sentinels around it, so it's not a resource depot. What is this? Is it just a save beacon? Probably. Oh, no, it's a market. Okay, I can take that. Let's go see what's in the market. And nothing that I need. I think I already have amino chambers. I have phosphorus. We're good on all this. I can't use Starship launch fuel or else I would buy it. But a Sentinel ship does not use launch fuel. It uses either crystals or... I think it's only crystals. Wait a minute. What's up? That's a good question. I don't think you can use launch fuel. I know you can't on a Sentinel ship. But I think it's just crystals, isn't it? Oh no, Pugnium! My brain's not working. Pugnium. Pugnium is what it uses, not launch fuel. So if you go in here and go here, yeah, Pugnium and Radiant Shards, and that's it. You can't use launch fuel. You can't use uranium like a normal ship. Have to use one of these two. Ooh. Oh. Yes. It's been a while since I've had a Dr. Pepper. I've been saving myself for Friday. Jason started. Jason on his rant this time. Yep, I started my own rant. Yeah, I did. Anyway. Let's put some of this away. We don't need that. We don't need this. Just clearing up my inventory. Don't need this.
No free slots in ship inventory.
Well, I'll hold on to that for now.
No free slots in ship inventory.
Well, dang it. What's in my refiner? Oh, there you go. All right. Well, we're good on that. And the better thing is, in my ship, I have an auto recharge. Oh, nope, that's the Aqua Jets. So, as long as I don't use my ship, it will slowly recharge. Andy, thank you so very much for the gifted member. Very much appreciated. Oh, 7. We have a cave here. See if we can get an animal to pop out. Nope. So I'm looking for a red dot animal. There we go. Oh, Chris says, Jason, my favorite No Man's Sky drink, or my favorite drink, is where I live in England, is Iron Brew. I don't even know where Iron Brew is. Is that like a tea? I would assume if it's in, if you're in England, it's a tea, isn't it? Steve says, I think the best way to find graves is to find the anomaly, pick up the hazardous flora mission. They point you to a grave, put down a base computer, and don't interact. Exit the mission and port to the base. That is a genius. That is a genius move, Captain Steve. Would that be considered an exploit, though? I don't know. I mean, technically, you are just doing a mission, and there's no rules against doing missions. So, theoretically.
So you are saying that you don't like the target sweeper?
Not at all. Not at all, Stealth. I have to go back and find the one stream. I believe it was in the Beyond update. So this would have been 2019, maybe 2020, but I think it was 2019 when they added in the new target sweep mode. And I probably freaked out on stream because I was just like, what the is this? Because, yeah, before that, it just said, hey, go find this ship, and it would point to exactly where it is. And then update happens, and now it's, hey, go to this general location and kind of walk around for 20 minutes, and maybe you'll find it. Pull out your visor, and it'll point you in the right direction. What is this trash? It's the same time, and in 2020, they introduced the Living Ship update. And that was when they started getting egregious about timers. Because if you have not done the Living Ship update, or the Living Ship missions, don't. I mean, do it because they're cool, but there are timers, there's cooldowns in the game that force you to not do anything for a day. You can get around that by fast forwarding the time on your console or your PC or whatever. But in game, you have to wait 24 hours before you can go again. And it's like, why? Is this a mobile game? You want my credit card number, No Man's Sky? I mean, come on. Why are you putting timers in a game that is, let me go. Just let me play the game. Nope, sorry, come back in 24 hours. And then after that, they introduced settlements, which had the same thing. They introduced, it was in the Frontiers update, I believe. It was the settlements where they introduced timers. When you build a building, it takes you an hour, and it's like, for F's sake, why? I don't know what they stopped it for a while. Like, they did that, like, thing, and I was like, okay, they're just done. What is this? Oh, that's not cool. What the hell is this? I've never run into a geothermal storm before. Usually it's just Heather Silvermist farting around me. Never this.
Which do you prefer, the target sweeper or pineapple pizza?
Pineapple pizza. That's how bad the target sweeper is. Because pineapple pizza ends at a certain point. Target sweeper is forever. Thank you so very much, Stealth. Very, very much appreciated. Yeah, if I eat a pineapple pizza, it ends. It stops. Target sweeper is forever. It never ends. Heather Silverman says, you are the farter, Jason. You. Nope. Notice how there's no green clouds here, Heather. But now that I've talked about her, all of a sudden, I bet you the next storm is going to be a green, foggy nastiness following me. It's just going to happen. Where am I going? Oh, yeah, I'm going north. Oh, wait a minute. I see a red dot. That's my underground animal right there. I have to do this without killing him. Hey, buddy, what are you? What are you? What are you? Oh, the plug. Okay, the plug guy. You're technically not underground, buddy. What are you doing? That's a seam in the world. Death Trooper says, Jason hates the target sweeper more than pineapple pizza. Dude, I know, because at least the pineapple pizza will end. There is a stopping point on pineapple pizza. There is no end to the target sweeper. It is forever. Ooh, I got hiccups just thinking about it. Captain Steve says, I haven't seen that before. That's actually cool. I know. I usually run into the radiation or the toxic, like, mini storms, Steve. I've never seen a geyser storm. So that's a new one on me. I haven't seen one of those. Yeah, that's kind of cool. We got all the animals. So we got our nanites. I don't know what for, because I have my my settings set to extreme, which means if I want to upgrade my multi-tool, I think it's 69 or 67,000 nanites. So yeah, there's that. I'm not going to be upgrading my multi-tool anytime soon. And I think that's just for a B to an A, right? Yeah. From a B to an A is like 67,000 nanites. I believe from an A to an S is going to be 100,000 if I wanted to go that route. Nope, I don't want to save up 100,000 nanites for that. Why are you hunting for graves? Concept cookie. So, graves will have glyphs attached to them. So, in No Man's Sky, there is portals that you can use. However, you need to basically unlock the portal glyphs, basically your symbols on your portal to travel. I only have 3 of them, and I made a self-imposed rule of I need to have 5 before I can use a portal. I could have used 1 and been done with it, but I set a goal of 5. That way it's not too easy. So I need 5 of these glyphs. And the only way to get them in abandoned mode, as far as I know, is to find random graves that are spread out on a planet. And they're all over the place. You just have to run across them. And because planets in No Man's Sky are gigantic, it might take you 5, 10, 20 hours. I think to go around a normal-sized planet, an average-sized planet, is about 20 hours. Maybe 16 hours if you're really fast. Like if you're running it. I've never tried to do a Titan planet, like a gas giant. I've never tried that, but I would imagine that would be a nightmare to try. What is this? Quartzite? I've never tried to run around a Titan planet, like a gas giant. That is probably going to take you 30 plus, I would imagine, because they are much, much bigger than the average planet. And if you go around a moon, it's going to be shorter than that, probably closer to 10 hours. But still, you're talking like multiple hours. Like double-digit hours to walk around the planet. If you just went in a straight line from like north to south, just all the way around the planet, it would take you about 15, 20 hours on the average. So yeah, that's why it's really hard to find stuff if you're on foot. Always more advisable to use a ship. However, a grave is much harder to see from a ship. You're moving really fast, and they're very small on the ground, so they're very hard to see to begin with. The terrain on the gas giant is awful for running all... Yes, dude, absolutely. That's why it would slow you down. Because, like, if I try to walk around this particular planet, it's going to take me more. It's going to take me longer simply because I'm dealing with all these hills that are going up and down. You can find planets that are way more flat. And those, easy enough to just walk around. You don't really need to use your jetpack as much. Whereas, like, a planet like this or a gas giant, it is probably insanely difficult because you're just constantly going up and down, getting stuck in a crevice because there's so many hills and ridges everywhere. Ba-ba-bum. Nothing. Some terrains are so vertical, I'd almost rather have aggressive sentinels. Dude, especially now with the update, the world's update. Like before, you had a rare, like it was rare to find a planet that was like, had mountains that were huge. It could happen, but it was very rare. Now that we have Worlds Part 1 and 2 out, those are more common, and you can run into an all-water planet, which has 1,000 depth in water, and it's like unbelievable. So you can imagine that for height. You have to go up 1,000 feet to go up a mountain. That's crazy. Or 1,000 units, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I can't even imagine trying to circle a planet with that kind of terrain. Oh, that would be a nightmare and a half. I would definitely say, nah, let's just do some aggressive sentinels. I mean, I could find one of these big old dudes right here. And then let's ride them. We're going north. Let's turn. And there you go. Boom. Now, some animals are faster than others. So it just depends. So you can do it this way as well. The only problem is it's hard to see stuff because this guy's jittery. Okay, calm down, calm down. So you gotta stop. And you can't look behind you. But yeah, so it's harder to use your visor when you're on a bouncy insect like this. Like, holy cow, man. Michael J. Fox is here. Jesus. But yeah, they go faster. So you can do that. And again, some animals are faster than others. Usually, if it's a larger animal, it will be faster. Usually. Not always, but usually. But yeah, it's still kind of a pain. I'd rather do that on foot. Just because I could do this while I'm walking, I can kind of look around and see there's nothing around here. So then I can just go, okay. Lars says, Jason, can't one of the exocraft scanners detect a type of structure that contains graves without actually saying that it's a grave? I don't think so. Like, I'm racking my brain on what, because every exocraft has like a specialty. So if you're trying to look for underwater crashes, like freighters and stuff, go with a submarine. I believe the mech can look for crashed ships. I don't know if any one of the exocraft actually look for unidentified, like small building, like it would be like a grave site. I don't think so, but I don't know. Same thing for the signal booster. It will look for any building nearby. However, I don't think that graves are part of that pool. And I mean, I'm sure someone really smart, with someone with a big brain like Zane, would be able to tell you exactly, absolutely, yes or no. But I've never seen it happen. Like, I've used the signal booster a lot, and I've never seen it happen anecdotally. Is it possible? Maybe. But with the signal booster, it's grabbing a random item, a random thing. And so even if it could, is it likely to? Probably not, because it's grabbing from a pool of crashed freighters, crashed ships, observatories, abandoned buildings, all kinds of stuff. So how likely is it you're going to get that one particular building you like? Probably not. So yeah, I don't know. I think the only surefire way would be Steve's. Go to the Nexus, take a mission to find hazardous flora, because it's always a grave you have to go to. So that would be a way to do it. I don't know. Like Michael J. Fox. Almost. I'm sorry, Trident. Sorry. Every once in a while, those sneak through the brain filter. Every once in a while, I catch my wife off guard. Like especially when I play with like Survival Bob and Beeble Bum, and Zane. We all get a little punchy. We all get a little rowdy with our jokes. And, you know, I'll be in that mode and, you know, I'll finish a stream with one of them, like a Valheim stream. And then I'll go say a joke in front of my wife and she'll say, where did that come from? It's like, oh, sorry. I was in streamer mode still with Bob and Beebs and everybody. So I gotta turn that filter on again. Sorry. Or Heather. Heather Silvermist is she is corrupting me fully. She is, holy cow. You hear the sailor's mouth on Heather Silvermist. My goodness. Oh. I'm not feeling lucky on this planet. We haven't found really anything. Like, nothing interesting. We haven't found a good building yet. The terrain kind of sucks because it's a lot of, it's not mountainous, but it's definitely hilly. Then you have to go to the marker to scan again. Yes, it won't mark another location. Now, Colsa, you can, if the signal booster marks a building, like an abandoned building, all you have to do is jump in your ship and fly for about 10 to 15 seconds. And then if you try it again, it will mark another location, but it can mark the same one. Like, it'll mark an abandoned building first, take off and fly without going to the abandoned building. If you scan again, it will mark another abandoned building. It can. So there's no rule against it marking just one thing like the charts. The charts will only mark one location at a time. So, like, if I get a distress signal chart, it will mark a crash freighter once. And if you try to do it again, it will never mark another crash freighter until you go to that first one. The signal booster does not work that way. I don't know when they changed it, but the last time we tried to use it like that, it was marking multiple of the same building. And I was like, well, son of a gun. Oh, so yeah, signal booster, they changed the rules on it. You have the Elon Paul can't find a grave syndrome. I know. Well, we found one last stream. We found one. And I think we streamed for like 5 hours or 6 hours last stream, I think. And we found one. I was like, what the crap? That's all right. We only need 2 more. So we're getting close. We're getting close. Let's see. You know what? I have not looked for the Sentinel ship on this location. I have my combat scope on. Inverted mirror, looks like. This is the bad part where you don't want to fight corrupted sentinels because they just heal each other constantly. If there's more than one, they'll just heal each other.
Hello.
Well, hello, Walter. Good seeing you in the chat. Very much appreciated for you. Being a member for 37 months. I appreciate that, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, well, let's keep going. I got a inverted mirror. We don't need one of those. I need an echo chart. And nothing. All right. Shoot the mirror and just run the next one and collect them all up. I mean, yeah, you could do that. There is a trick if you're in an outlaw, like if you're playing on a regular playthrough, a regular normal setting on your difficulty sliders. If you go to an outlaw system and you shoot the sentinel, the resonance right there, the machines, the sentinels won't come help you in an outlaw system, or they won't come help hunt you down. And so that makes it way easier to farm up those like inverted mirrors or echolocator charts, because you can just fly around in your ship and attack all of the awesome what's it called, the resonators, and the sentinels won't do anything about it. Which is kind of nice. Kind of nice. Let's see what this building is. If this is not a good building, we'll just call in our ship and we'll go to a different moon because this is not working out well. Not very flat. I thought it was an abandoned moon. Obviously, this is not abandoned. It says it is. That's a lie. There's no ancient ruins here, so it's not abandoned that way. And there's a ton of life and stuff on it. Is that a plaque? That's literally... Okay, that's a plaque. We're out of here. We're out of here. I'm not dealing with a plaque. All right. Let's go to a different moon. Echolocator. Yep, trying to run here is obnoxious. It is. There's just too much up and down. There's too many mountains or hills. The terrain needs to be more flat. Ideally, you want a moon that's flat and probably lifeless, like no oxygen. That way, you can use your jetpack like crazy. All right. So we did that one. That is a hexagon moon. We're not going to find anything there. That's an exotic planet or moon. That's a Forsaken planet. And then it has a moon behind it. Let's see what the moon behind it is. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Look at how much... Look at how much of this I have. My God. Too much oxygen, too much carbon. That's like half my inventory right there. Goodness. My ingester might be empty by now. It is! So let's put some more food in here. Let's put a grobberry just to get rid of it. Nutrition, radiation resistance for 23%. Great. All right, moon, what are you? Ooh, frozen moon? Hyborian moon. Let's see this one. You guys know I prefer the frozen moons or frozen planets because they're like my lucky ones for whatever reason. I like the planets where the resource you want can only be mined from a near vertical slope. That's original No Man's Sky right there. I might load up the original release, 2016 No Man's Sky again. It's been a while since I played. I kind of like that original release. It's buggy. There's not a lot to do in it, but man, the terrain generation I think is still not there. They've done a lot. With the World's Part 1 update and World's Part 2 update, they've overhauled a ton of the terrain generation. But the variety, like the one thing that the original release had that was better than all other subsequent releases was the terrain variation. Like, you can land on a planet and it had such a variety of things on it. It was cool. They gave that up to make the textures look better, to put more like grass around on the ground. So 2016 No Man's Sky, the textures didn't look that good. They were kind of grungy. But man, the color pop was amazing. And so they kind of gave up that variety. And they said, we can make the textures look really good if we only have one. Yeah, that's true. But I like the variety. All right. So this is a transmission tower. We can go see if we can find a... what's it called? A freaking crash ship. Stream it, Jason. I would love to see it again. I might do that, Old Explorer. Maybe we'll do that next week. We'll do a Friday return to old school No Man's Sky or something. Because I have the original files on my desktop. That way I can just go back and load it up whenever I want to. And I'm pretty sure like the new No Man's Sky save would break that completely. So I'd have to start a brand new save in the old... You know what? We'll do that. We'll do an original playthrough next Friday. My God, the bugs are everywhere. They're on this planet too? All right, well, let's look around. I see a building over there. I'm already looking at buildings, way more buildings than before. We got bugs here. I don't see any graves. I see a big boy over here. Usually if a animal is marked like over 100 feet away, usually it's a gigantic thing. Oh yeah, look at this guy. Oh my God, that's a big boy. Let's go feed him. Let's go ride the gigantic beetle or insect, whatever you want to call him. Look at this monster. Hey, buddy, you like food? Here, don't eat me. Eat the food out of my hand, though. Oh, my God, that mouth is scary. Look at... Look at me. I'm riding this gigantic beetle. It's like as big as a house. All right, let's go. Let's go this way. Let's run. That's it? This is his top speed. All right, he's built for comfort, not for speed, obviously. Yeah, look at that's as fast as he goes. Yeah, look at this. I'm telling him to run, and that's it. I can walk faster than you, buddy. The bug just twerked. Oh, yeah. Oh, there he goes. Now he's moving. Come on, keep going. Go, go, go. Oh, there's a building over there. The building right there. Oh, my God. There's a building right over there. I see a trading outpost over there. Holy cow, this is a really good moon. I got buildings everywhere. Oh, drop pod. I'll take a drop pod. Yeah, go to the drop pod, man. Let's go get some more room in our inventory. I don't know why I need it, but it's cool. Now he's moving. My God, I'm gonna get whiplash riding this guy. All right, we can make one of those. Make one of these, and we're set. So let's do this. Could be for my suit, but that's okay. I always use more room in the suit. Oh, blizzard's coming. What is this building over here? 300. Hey, buddy. You good? Next to some metal fingers? Is that what that is? No, sack venom. Okay. Sack venom. Excuse me. What is this? A save beacon? Oh, it's a market. No, it's a market. Ow. Sack venom. Let's see what you got. Nothing there. Copper. I don't really need it, though. All right. The bug is still tweaking. Twerking, you mean? Or tweaking? Could be on drugs. I don't know. The Chrysler New Yorker of giant bugs. Oh, yes. It is the Cadillac of bugs. Okay, we got that one. All right, let's just keep heading north, I guess. North it is. I will say the one downside to a frozen planet is that the surface is white and the markers are like a light blue. And so sometimes the markers will mix in with the terrain and it's hard to see them. So it's easy to oversee or overlook some symbols. It takes a little extra time of looking. And then in a storm, doubly so. Did my driver's test in 78, New Yorker, parallel, dude. Tennis. That was the thing. Like, I live in Colorado. There is parallel parking here, but it is like the most rare of rare occasions. Like, if you go downtown Colorado Springs, you might have to parallel park. When I took my driving test, that was the first thing they had me do was parallel park, and I was like, what the? Where? And they said, well, we're going to go downtown. I'm like, that's the only, there's like 3 parallel parking spots in the entire city, and you want me to go find it? Oh, God. That was just like, why? I don't live in New York. I don't live in San Francisco. I don't need to parallel park. But they made me do it. Bum, bum, bum. Unknown building off the planet. Unknown buildings off the planet. What the? I don't know why I marked that one. Up. Unknown building over here. Ow! That's probably a resource depot. There's a sentinel right next to it. Failed for the attitude, huh? There is a Colorado song. Is there? I have no idea. I've been driving for 50 years and I've parallel parked once during the driver's test. I think I've done it like once legitimately. Like, not even counting the driving test. Like, in real life, there was probably one time I've had to parallel park. One time in my life. And I was just like, oh, thank God I took my test 20 years ago for this. That test this moment right now. There we go. That is a resource depot. Bum, bum, bum. Well, let's go north. We don't need a resource depot. Look at these guys. They're just dancing around here. You guys doing a blizzard dance or something? How many animals have I gotten here? Oh, I got all the animals. I didn't even think about it. I got all the animals, not even trying. Wow. Actually, speaking of that, I probably could upload all my discoveries. 775 nanites. I'll take that. That's a good one right there. That's a good way to make some passive nanites. Just running around scanning stuff for 16 hours. You get 700 nanites. I love it. 360 camera for the win. Well, yeah, now there's cameras and stuff. Before, you had to look at the car next to you, make sure you pull in alongside of it, and then turn. You have to cut the wheel at a certain time, and it's like, oh Lord. Now you can just use a camera and just back your way in, which is nice. Minor settlement, 700 feet away. Don't see any graves around here. So we did see a trading outpost. Just to be, thorough. Do you think there's a grave around the trading outpost, you guys? Definitely need jetpack upgrades. Saku says, Jason, I probably mispronounced her name. I apologize. How far are you from the galaxy center at the moment? I'm probably around the 700,000 light years. I haven't gone very far in. So in general, you start out around 650 to 700,000 light years away from the center. Every once in a while, you might start out closer. But yeah, I have not traveled that far in, so I'm probably still at the outer edge of the galaxy. If I had to guess, I've not been paying attention at all. But if I had to guess, that's what I would say. I'm on the outer edges, 650, 700,000 out. Eva, good seeing you in the chat. Geez, parallel parking really isn't that difficult, even without the rear cameras. Grow up. Oh my God. I hate doing it, man. I hate it. Whenever I have to drive downtown anywhere, I don't like doing it. I love living out in the country just so I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. Parallel parking being one of them.
You're pretty good.
Eva.
For parallel parking lessons.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, 7 for the super chat. And I know how to do it. I just don't like it. Just like when we've had to move, I can drive a big U-Haul truck. I don't like it, but I know how to do it. I just don't like doing it. But thank you. I appreciate that, Eva. Parking here in Germany is really bad. Oh, dude, I can't even imagine. Europe, your guys' roads were made for horses and carriages. They weren't made for, vehicles. So I can't even imagine trying to drive or park in anywhere in Europe. Oh, it's probably a nightmare. And especially if you have one of our big old American cars that are like twice the size of a European car. Oh, yeah, that's a nightmare and a half. You can't drive it anywhere over there. What the hell? All right. I'm probably going to need to get some cobalt pretty quick here. I can make some batteries. U.S. cars don't fit in the U.K. Yeah, I could. I've seen that. I've seen that. Like, you guys have smaller cars, and I'm willing to bet it's because your roads are so small. Like, you built your roads 300 years ago, and it's like, well, I guess a car could fit on that. Parallel park here most days. Do you, Mike? Oh, God, no. If it came down to it, I'd just start walking everywhere. I'm like, nope. In the United States, we drive a lot because all of our stuff is, like, separated out. Like, I believe Texas is as large as, like, the entirety of England, easily. Like, the UK is just covered, like, totally just one state. So, and in Texas, you're driving a long way to get anywhere. So that's why we definitely like cars over here. We like sugar too. But we like cars simply because I could walk to the store. It's going to take me about 3 hours, but I can do it. But I'd rather just drive for half an hour. Whereas in the UK, you could probably just walk down the road and there's a local shop right there. I mean, unless you're out in the country, if you're a farmer out there, then of course, different story again. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, 5 minutes in a pub. Yeah, and that's kind of cool. And there's cities here that do that as well. If you're in New York City, you could probably do that and get by just fine. Most of what you need is going to be right around the corner or within like a 10-minute walk of wherever you're at. But like in Colorado Springs, for me, the nearest shop is a half-hour drive. If I walk it, I believe it is 17 miles. It's 17 miles away. So I could walk that, but it'd be a nightmare. And I can't even imagine walking there, doing grocery shopping for a month or whatever, and then walking back with all of that. No. It took me 3 days to drive from Maryland to New Mexico. One of those days was in Texas. Yeah, one of those days, that's exactly it, Ken. I didn't realize how big Texas was until I have family that lives down in San Antonio, and I had to drive from Colorado to San Antonio. It took me 5 hours to get out of Colorado, and I'm like, okay, cool, we're halfway there. It took me another, I think, 12 hours to go from the northern part of Texas down to like the center-ish. I was like, what the hell? This state is too big. The whole day, man. The whole day. A little more than 1/3. Yeah, it's ridiculously huge. Yeah, I mean, that's why I think that's the biggest thing is like we don't have a lot of cool like infrastructure for transportation simply because everything is so far away. Like you get on a bus in Colorado Springs, you're probably going to be on it for an hour or two because it has to stop constantly. And if you're just trying to get around town, it's like, oh my God, there you go. There's an hour or two of my life just trying to get across town because it's just, you know, it's all spread out. That manufacturing facility. Well, we don't need that, but I appreciate that. Texas is almost as big as British Columbia. Almost. North Texas sounds like a good place for a bunker. Dude, yes. It was, and that's the only time I've ever been scared of not getting gas at the right time. I've driven across a lot of the west coast of the United States. I've never been that nervous. Like, it's like, okay, make sure you have gas, make sure everyone goes to the bathroom, but it's not a big deal, whatever, you'll get gas. In Texas, I got gas, and then I didn't see another gas station for like hours, and I was like, are you kidding me? What if you got gas at the wrong time? You're screwed. You're out in the middle of the desert. There's nothing. Like, what the hell, man? That made me scared. I was like, oof. I do not want to walk. And at least because I was driving at night. At least the sun wasn't beating down. So if I had to walk to a gas station, I would have at least a few hours of cool nighttime weather. You know, we got to worry about coyotes and stuff, but I don't have to worry about dying in the sun. Texas is an area approximately of 268,000 square miles. England covers an area approximately 50,000 square miles. Yeah. Yeah. And so it's, for me, when a lot of people make the comparison of, well, you know, how far is it to drive? And I'll be like, okay, we'll just take all of Europe, and that's the United States, basically. Not exactly one-to-one. But you're not just driving across one country like the UK or France or whatever. You're just driving across Europe the entire way. Like, holy moly. Oh. Anyway, I have a candy here. I need to eat this before it starts melting. In Texas, you buy a bottle of Jack, you get a free... Yes. Dude. You guys have some good green chilies down there. Not as good as ours, but pretty good. Pretty good. Hatch chilies in Colorado are better. Just saying. Pass a Jeep with 5-gallon jerry cans strapped on its roof. I'm screwed. Yep. When you see other people preparing like that, you're like, oh man, I don't have anything. Oh God. Well, you know what? I said I needed cobalt, right? Let's take a break for a second and get some cobalt. Or not. Are these none of these? Oh my God, really? There we go. None of you? All right. Tell me the difference between these two. There is none. One is able to be mined and the other one is not. What the hell? All right, come on, Cobalt. I need some batteries. Silver. Look at this. Just randomly, there are some that I can use and some that I can't. And you don't know which one's which. They're not even a different color or anything. They're not a different shape. They're all the same shape. What the hell is this? All right, let's make some batteries real fast. All right. There are graves of fallen travelers, and they have glyphs. Yes, yes, that's what we're looking for, graves. We want to find glyphs. Captain Steve says, I want to visit the U.S. There is a restaurant there called the Captain Steve's. Where is that at? Do you know? I'll go there. I want to get some Captain Steve food. Captain Steve's. If I had to guess, that's probably on the East Coast. I'm going to say in Maine or Vermont, maybe? Over there. It's probably the in New England area. I would, if I had to guess where Captain Steve's restaurant would be, it would be New England or something like that. Yeah, that sounds good. Captain Steve's restaurant. That's pretty awesome. We used to have a restaurant around here, and I'm sure it still exists. It was called Jason's Deli. And I was like, That's perfect. I'll take that one. Jason's Deli. They make good sandwiches too, and then they closed down. I don't know why. I think it was right around COVID era, so lockdown killed a lot of cool restaurants, and I think Jason's Deli was one of those cool restaurants that just didn't make it through COVID. All right. That should be good enough. We have 52 batteries. We can only get 60 in a stack. Oh yeah, let's see. Our ingester should be empty by now. Yep. Let's chuck in some beans. There we go. Radiation resistance, sure. We don't need radiation resistance, but I have it. Oh, you're a big green guy. Captain says, Captain's Family Seafood Restaurant in Fort Mill, South Carolina. That's different. Okay, I thought it would have been a Northeast, like a New England thing. All right, South Carolina. I gotta go to South Carolina. Is Captain Steve's in Fort Mill, South Carolina? Yep. Did they fix the glitching graphics issue? It depends. So, the first thing to always do, if you have glitching graphics, if you're on, no matter what platform you're on, if you have weird glitching graphics, it sounds stupid. Go to your network settings, turn off all your multiplayer stuff. Just to see. Turn off the game, turn it back on, make sure your multiplayer is turned off. And then, if you're on a PC, you can delete your shader cache. Depending on if you're an NVIDIA or an AMD user, your graphics card, you have the different ways to do it. Delete your shader cache for your if you're on PC. If you're on a console or a PlayStation, like PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, fully delete the game, update or upload your save, back up your save, upload it to the cloud or whatever. Delete the game completely, and then reinstall a fresh installation, because sometimes when the game updates, it will corrupt one file. Like, it'll try to overwrite and clean up a file, and it just doesn't do it right. And it'll corrupt one thing, so it doesn't corrupt the game. It'll just corrupt, like, the texture for that thing. Like, oh, my weird, like, my snow texture got corrupted, so now my snow kind of looks funky, or whatever. So always do a fresh install if you could run into those issues. I generally, because I play No Man's Sky a ton, about 3 times a year, every like other update, unless it's a major update like Worlds Part 2, every other update, I'll back up my save, I'll put it in the cloud, whatever, and then I'll completely delete No Man's Sky off my hard drive and then re-download it, just to make sure everything's nice and clean and not corrupted or anything like that. So I'll delete my my shader cache, I'll delete all my my files, my game files, everything. Just everything for No Man's Sky is deleted. That way, it has to download a fresh set. And sometimes, No Man's Sky is buggy, because that's what it is. So, I don't know. After that, it's going to be... oof, it's a weird... Well, hopefully a patch will fix it. It's a memory leak or something on a specific platform. Colossal Archive? I don't remember marking a Colossal Archive, you guys. Do you? Doesn't Steam have a verify option? It does, Jay. It does. But it's hit or miss. It'll verify the files, but with the Steam verify, at least in my own experience, it might not be the case every time. It's only looking for missing files. So if you verify, like if I go through and I delete one file out of my my No Man's Sky folder, a random, like, you know, whatever. If I verify the file, or I verify my game on Steam, it'll just basically check and go, oh, it's fine. I need to download this one thing. If a file is corrupted, it might not hit it. It'll say, nope, the file's there. It's not verifying that the file works. It just verifies that the file is there. So it's not missing. It's just not working correctly. At least in my own experience. I've had a couple games where I've verified the files, and Steam says it looks legit, it's fine. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. and then I'll just delete the game. I'm like, all right, fine. Maybe I just need to do a fresh install. I'll delete the game completely, every file off my hard drive, and then re-download it. Problem goes away. And I'm like, what the? Okay. And then on top of that, the Steam is only verifying the game files. It's not verifying like your shader cache in your graphics card. So if you have a weird shader problem, like if there's some weird update that, like for Worlds Part 2, for instance, it redid some of the textures. NVIDIA, your graphics card, AMD, will download new shaders. The game will say, hey, download the shaders. I don't think Steam is checking your shader cache on your graphics card. It's just, nope, it's checking the game files. Bill says I'm on a PC using a 3060 NVIDIA. Yes, sometimes download or delete your shader cache. And it goes for any game. Any game, if you're on PC and you get some weirdness, like the game was working great and all of a sudden it stops working so good. Sometimes it's, hey, look, they've had a few patches and something downloaded that just didn't download the right way. Sometimes it was a weird shader thing. Like, oh, we patched some of these shader problems and it just doesn't download the new shader cache. And so it's working with a new game with an old shader cache or whatever. There's a million different possibilities. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I live near the Air Force Academy, Schriever Air Force Base, Fort Carson. World War III is happening or something, because good Lord, they've had planes all day, and they are flying low. Like, generally, they don't fly that low, but man, today they are. I don't know what's going on today, but yeah. Like, I think like 4 or 5 hours ago, we had a jet flyby, a fighter jet flyby so low, it was like rattling the windows. I was like, I've never had a plane fly that low. Sometimes they'll fly low because they're doing their games or whatever. That's fine. But today was like, that was the lowest I've ever heard or seen a plane. Like, that was like, what the hell are you doing, buddy? He was basically like map of the earth, like over a neighborhood. Like, what the hell, dude? So yeah. So yeah, and that's, I think, the 4th or 5th one today that's been like that low. So yeah, great. So if my power goes out or something happens, I don't know. I don't think we're expecting rain, at least in my area today. No rain, so it won't be the rain that causes my power outage. Blizzard. So I'm heading towards the Colossal Archive because sometimes, not always, but sometimes you'll find graves around them. It's not a guarantee. A lot of people think that if there's a Colossal Archive, that means there's a grave around it. No, it's not a guarantee. But I've made fun of it before, and then I've run into a grave around it. So I will say there's a possibility of a grave around it. Jay says, Jason, don't watch the news, man. Yeah, yep. I don't. I stick out of it. I'm like, you know what? Jason can't do anything about it. So hold on tight and hope better things are coming. That's all I could do. Pay attention. Play some Dune while I can. The only thing, and it's a dark humor thing, and my wife hates it when I say this. My wife absolutely hates it when I say this. So take it with a grain of salt. It's very, very, very dark humor. But where I live, I'm next to NORAD. I'm next to a whole bunch of different forts. I got Fort Carson. I got Schriever Air Force Base. I got the Air Force Academy around us. Some other bases around here. If anything goes down, I won't know about it. It'll just be poof, gone. So at least I have that. My wife hates it when I say that. Don't say that, Jason. Hey, I'm just saying. If anything goes down, we will be the first to know, and we won't know it all. We won't know it all. That is not a colossal archive. Did you just see that? What is... I was going to say, I don't see a colossal archive, but maybe it's the blizzard. I just can't see anything. Nope. This game is lying to me now. Lying to me. It's not even a holographic comms tower. It has a landing pad. That means this is a minor settlement. Holographic comms tower? Do you know what this is, game? I know what this is. It's a minor settlement. Minor settlements are the only small buildings that have a landing pad. If you're not talking about a trading outpost or an archive, those are the only other buildings that have a landing pad. This is a minor settlement. Oh. That is the other joke I say, Spectre. It'd be me at 2:30 in the morning going, man, who turned on the lights? Boop, done. All right, well, the game now is actively lying to me. Colossal Archive, my... All right. Well, now you can't even trust the visor. Visor's lying to me. So I got to see a freaking grave with my eyeballs. Because it might tell me there's a grave, and then when I get up to it, it's going to turn into like a crashed freighter or something. An abandoned building. What the hell was that about? Colossal Archive. It's only 9 years of updates. Maybe they will fix that bug. No, I think. Now, this is my speculation. I'm not saying I know this for a fact or I've talked to anyone at Hello Games because I have not. However, my speculation is they have been updating and fixing and modifying the game for 9 years, basically a decade. The No Man's Sky that we play today is a completely different game than we played in 2016, 10 years ago. And because of that, I think that they built the foundation of No Man's Sky, and then they've just shoved all these updates on top of it. And so the foundation is not very good. It needed more help. And they've done big updates. The next update was huge. I think they redid a lot of stuff with the next update in 2018. I think the World's Part 1 update revamped a lot of stuff. They're rebuilding some of that foundation, but that foundation is still there. There's still like little echoes of problems with the game that they're never going to completely get rid of because the game was built with that. And so you can tear down some stuff, you can adjust things, but you're still going to get these weird, okay, why is that acting up? Oh, it's because it was built in 2016 with a whole different thing in mind. And I think that's what it is. And I think that's another reason why it's taken a long time for them to make and put out Light No Fire. I think they're building that game on this engine, this modified engine, the No Man's Sky, procedural generation. However, they're putting in the foundations that they need now versus 2016. 2016 No Man's Sky had no multiplayer at all. None. Zero. It didn't have a third-person camera. It did not have refining. It did not even have a terrain manipulator. You couldn't do this in the original No Man's Sky. They've added all this on top of that original game, and so I think there's some weirdness that they probably can't do unless they tear the game down completely, and they're like, no, if we're doing that, we might as well just make a whole new game. And that's what Light No Fire is. Now, don't get me wrong. No Man's Sky is an amazing game, and I love it. But there is bugs and bugs and bugs in here. And it's probably remnants of things they tore down.
At Death Trooper wants to know rules for Abandoned.
I didn't see that. Thank you, Tranquila. I appreciate the super chat. Sorry, I didn't see the chat from you, Death Trooper. So, for the Abandoned run, we've just basically, I can't show you because I've locked my settings, but what we've done, let me do this, that way I don't die while I'm explaining the rules. All right. So, for an abandoned run, the one I'm doing, and you can modify and do whatever you want with it, the whole goal that I have is reach the center of the galaxy. Now, in abandoned mode, it's a little bit different than normal mode simply because there's no storyline like Artemis or anything like that. There's no other characters to talk to. And so the fastest way to do it would be to literally get in your ship, pack it full of fuel, and jump over and over to every galaxy or every system until you got to the center. That would take you many, many hours, but you can do it. Or the more fun way to do it would be to find some glyphs and get to the center that way using portals. So I've made the rule for myself that I'm doing an abandoned run, and all I have to do is get to the center. And if I want to use portals, I have to get 5 glyphs, meaning I have to find 5 different graves before I can use a portal to do it. And that's it. Find 5 graves, go to a portal, put in the address for as close to the center as I can get, and then pop through the center. And that's the whole idea of this series for me. Other creators like Beeblebum has done different runs where you have different rules. Like we've done a fugitive run where you can't talk to any aliens. You're in normal mode. You can't talk to any aliens, and you cannot go to a space station. We've done a no starter ship challenge where you just can't use your own starter ship. We've done things like that. For me, on an abandoned run, it's just get to the center, and you have to find 5 glyphs before you get there. That's it. That's it. How can you find the portal address without NPCs giving them to you? Jay, if you're an old school No Man's Sky player, you can know those addresses. However, you can always have access to your own galaxy right here. So you can see right there. If anyone wants to come to my galaxy or to my system, right there, those are the glyphs. And if you're adventurous, just go find a portal and pop in a random set of glyphs and see where it takes you. So a lot of players in the No Man's Sky community, we kind of know if you use the first symbol you get, which is the sunrise, is what I call a sunrise. If you just put in sunrise, 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 sunrise repeatedly, you can get really close to the center without even trying. So there is different kinds of ways to get there, and ultimately, just experiment with it. So you can just pop in any kind of address you want. That doesn't prevent you. The only thing that prevents you from using an address is if you don't have the glyph for it. So like right now, I only have 3. So I can't use like the moon. The moon glyph, I do not have the moon glyph. So I could not come to this particular space system because I don't have a moon. I don't have that glyph. So that's the only thing preventing you. But if you have any glyphs, if you just have the first one, the sunrise, you could just pop that in, just sunrise, sunrise, sunrise over again and go to wherever that is. And a lot of people have. So that's why you can do that. You don't need anyone to tell you where to go. And you don't need permission to go anywhere. As long as you have the glyphs, as long as you have the ability to do it, you can go there. So yeah, that's kind of, we're using our No Man's Sky experience to kind of to our advantage. So we know some of the addresses that we can use for that. Like 3 jumps to the core if using the first glyph. Yes. So you don't get exactly this to the center, but if you only have 1 glyph, and it's easy to find 1, especially in normal mode, just go to a space station, talk to a traveler, you get the first glyph immediately, and you're done. Go find a portal, and you can get too close to the center. You can immediately go. Like, I wonder, has anyone done a race from a fresh save to the center of the galaxy with no rules other than get to the center? Because I'm willing to bet within the first... probably within the first hour, maybe 2 hours, you can get to the center of the galaxy.
You're pretty good.
And that might be generous.
Jason, you are right about No Man's Sky. We all love playing video games, but no game is perfect.
Exactly, Tyler, exactly. And 07, thank you for the super chat, by the way. And yeah, so no game is perfect. And A game might be really, really fun for me, but you might hate it. Or vice versa. You guys love Midnight. He loves Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Absolutely loves it. I might be stretching a little bit on that. I do not like it simply because of the combat. But that doesn't mean Kingdom Come Deliverance is a bad game. I think it's one of the best games of the year so far. But I don't like it. Like, it's not my particular kind of taste. It's not the combat system in that game, I do not like at all. I hate it. However, I still think it's a very good game. And so just because I don't like a game doesn't mean it's a bad game or a terrible game. And just because a game has bugs in it doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's just, are the bugs egregious enough or bad enough to you to prevent you from playing it? There's always going to be some kind of weirdness, some kind of glitchiness to a game. It's inherent. It's going to happen.
Good.
But does it bother you enough? That's the question. Sometimes there's an archive. Well, I found one. Anyway, sometimes one of my favorite games of all time is a game called Alpha Protocol. And I fully recognize that game is not very good at all. I love Alpha Protocol. I love the idea of it. I love the storyline in it. If you don't know, it's basically Mass Effect, but instead of a space theme, it's like a super secret spy. It's like James Bond Mass Effect. It is an awesome game. It came out in the 360 era. The PS 360 era, whatever you want to call it. It is an amazing game, but that game is so clunky. It is so buggy. It is not a good game. But I love it. It's so good to me. That is one of my favorite games. I love Alpha Protocol. So I know, hey, that game is really buggy. If someone said, hey, should I play Alpha Protocol? I'd say probably not. It would be cool to go back and see it. It's a game of the time. You know, it has all that Mass Effect 2 influence. Like, at that time, everyone was trying to make a Mass Effect kind of game because Mass Effect was the big deal at that time. And so you get things like Binary Domain. You get, Alpha Protocol. Games like that have a Mass Effect flavor to them. But Alpha Protocol, you want to talk about Obsidian, they made Alpha Protocol, and I'm sure they will never admit to it. That game was amazing. I love Alpha Protocol. However, I wouldn't tell anyone to play it. I'd be like, you probably... Unless you have fond memories of it, it's not going to be a good game to go back to. Like, I'll go back to it because I love it, and I remember it. But that's what's going to get me through. I can ignore all the bugginess, all the jankiness of it, because I have good memories of it. I love that game. Someone who's never played it before, they're going to play it for an hour and go, what the hell is this trash? This thing is so broken. How the hell did they release it? But I love it. It's so good. And Saku, thank you so very much. 07 for the super chat as well. There were no perfect games until now. Mind's Eye exists. Darkwing, you are not wrong. Mind's Eye set a whole nother bar for games. I don't know if it's good or not, but they set a bar for sure. That game, like, I'd never try to go into a game hating it. No matter what the game is, I want to give it a chance to stand on its own and say, hey, look, there might be something good, there might be something bad, but I try to keep an open mind about a game. Mind's Eye starts off decent. Like, it's not great. It's not terrible. But then it's a slow recognition of this game is not done. It's definitely not done. Oh, it's getting worse. How is it getting worse? And by the time, like, I played another 2 hours after the stream. Like, I played the stream for, I think, 6 hours. I played the first 6 hours of Mind's Eye. And you kind of see the polish was all up front. And then it slowly starts falling apart. The game, like, the missions start getting weird and tedious. And then the storyline starts taking really bad turns. And you're like, everything's falling apart. And it just keeps getting worse. And you're like, how? And it's just, it's worse and worse. Like, as I went along, I'm like, okay, this is not good. They made sure, it feels like they made sure to go through the front end of that game, the first half or whatever that game. I don't know how long it is. I've heard it's like 10 hours long or something, and we played 6 hours of it. So we played more than half of it, I think. But like the first half got the attention, and the last half it was like, oh, we'll get to that later. And they never did. They never did. All right. I don't see any freaking graves. Let's go this way. We'll go around the planetary archive. Alpha Protocol is a 9 out of 10 on Steam. Can you buy it still? Last time I checked, now I gotta check it. The last time I checked Alpha Protocol, you couldn't even buy it on Steam. Did they put it back up for sale? It is for sale. What the hell? I thought they took that down. Wow, it's up for Alpha Protocol stream coming. They took it down. They took it off of sale for a while, and I think it was because there was copyright music in Alpha Protocol, and Sega was like, we're not going to relicense that game because no one's buying it. But yeah, they took it down for a while. Well, dang! Might be doing an Alpha Protocol stream. Yeah, I remember playing that on my 360, and at the time I knew it was buggy. Like, there is obviously terrible like jank to it, but I'm okay. I love Bethesda games, so obviously I'm okay with bugs and jankiness as long as I can find the good parts in the game. And sometimes it's harder than others, and sometimes it doesn't exist, like in Mind's Eye. But I want to try to find the good stuff. And Alpha Protocol has so much good stuff in there that you have to kind of like dig through some of the bugs, but there are some amazing parts to that game. Again, buggy as hell. If you've never played it, you probably will not enjoy it because it came out, what was it, 2010 or whatever? It came out like 15 years ago, and they've done better games than that since then, but nothing's been that. It's like, I would compare it to Fallout New Vegas. They did something that no other game was doing at the time. Like, we've never had like a spy Mass Effect kind of deal, ever. And so
good.
I like that idea and I like the gameplay.
Let's go, Jason. Go, go, go. Love her content.
Thank you so very much, Taku. You're being super generous today. I appreciate that. 07. Very much appreciated. And yeah, so they did a lot of cool stuff that you didn't see. And New Vegas did a lot of cool stuff in Fallout that Bethesda was not doing. Bethesda generally has been going down the more and more generic RPG route. Like, if you go back to like Daggerfall stuff, it's hardcore, but it just gets a little bit more generic every time. I think for me, Oblivion is the peak. You go to Skyrim, it's too generic. I like Skyrim. I think Skyrim's good, but it's too quote unquote easy. And then Fallout 4, Fallout, 76, it gets more and more generic. Starfield, I think is the leveling system is not good in Starfield at all. But there are some elements there that I still like. But New Vegas was the same thing. Obsidian made New Vegas, and it's probably one of my favorite Fallout games ever. I've gone back and I've played the old isometric Fallout like 1 and 2, and I didn't get into that as much. I played Wasteland 3 as well, because I was like, okay, I'll play all this cool stuff. And I don't like it as much. I like the Bethesda formula. I just think that they've simplified it too much over time. They've made it too easy over time because they want everyone to play it. And the way to get everyone to play it is to make it easier and easier so anyone can get in there and play it. And so I think they've kind of lost their way with that. Anyway. But Obsidian did that, and they did that same kind of formula. You can kind of see the roots there in Alpha Protocol. It's not great. It needs a lot of polish. It's not a amazing game, but I love it. I think it's a really, really good game for me. It hit me at the right time, and so I have fond memories of that game. I don't see any graves, you guys. I thought maybe there would be one around the archive, but nope. Let's see what this one is. Oh, God. Oh, thank God I didn't fall down the hole. That's just a save beacon. Just a save beacon. Jason, more altars win. I'm trying to get through the yap. Oh, I need to get through there. So I've been distracted with Dune. I need to probably this weekend. I'll probably cut some more altars. But I like that game a lot. I really like that game a lot. It's just I've been so distracted with Dune that there's too many games and not enough time in the world. I played yesterday. I was playing with my friend Ty. I was playing Splitgate. I was playing Immortal 33. I was playing Firebreak. Firebreak's really, really cool. Really interesting. It's a little bit early access, a little bit janky, even though they say it's not early access. It feels like it's early access. But man, if you're interested in Control, Remedy, Firebreak is really cool. It's a cool idea. It's not very great, like feeling-wise. Like it's a first-person shooter, but it feels very slow and clunky. And it's the first one they've done. They don't do first-person shooters, so okay, that's understandable. It definitely needs more polish. It needs more time to cook. But I see what's there, and I like it a lot. It's just it feels like it's early access, and they don't tell you that. It feels early access to me.
You're pretty good.
Tyler.
I wish they would make a new Sly Cooper my favorite game series.
Oh, I wish. I mean, I feel like we're in that era of remasters and remakes and reboots. So, would Sony, I think Sony, was that Insomnia? Who made the original Sly Cooper? Was it Insomnia Games? I think they could. I believe it's under Sony now. So Sony does Sly Cooper. I think they still own the IP. But would they do it? Just like I would love a new Killzone or a new Haze. That would be awesome. I don't know if Sony would. I mean, maybe. Maybe we'll get one. We are, again, we're in the age of remasters and reboots and remakes. So who knows? Sly Cooper might be on the list. That would be kind of cool. You get a new Crash Bandicoot game. Get a new Banjo-Kazooie. Let Rare do something else other than frickin' what is their pirate game that they're doing that they're just locked into forever? I would love a new Banjo-Kazooie, a new Viva Pinata. Let Rare do something cool like that. Colorful and just off-the-wall weird. I would love that. Conquered Bad Fur Day. I don't think they'll ever do one of those ever again. I've been getting back into some Cyberpunk lately. They cleaned that game up well. Jay, they have a new update. They have update 2.3 coming. I might jump back in when they do the new update because I did play after the last update. We went through. We played a fresh save, and we ran all the way up through Phantom Liberty. So I'm really, really digging that game as well. So maybe when they do a new update, I'll run back through again. Because Cyberpunk was really, really good. Not at launch, but it was good. It eventually got there. New Toe Jam and Earl. I'll take a new Toe Jam and Earl. We could do a Parappa the Rapper. Come on. We could do that as well. I think Sony owns Parappa as well. God, can you imagine a music rhythm game? I don't know if that would work now. Like, we had that, like, what, 5 years, 8 years of, like, Guitar Hero and Rock Band. And it was awesome. And then it just kind of died. And I'm willing to bet it's probably record labels killed it. Record labels usually do that. But yeah, that would be kind of interesting to get that. XCOM? XCOM, dude. It's been a while since I played a, oh god, what would you call that kind of game? It's a strategy game. That isometric turn-based strategy game. It's been a while. Like, I played Wasteland 3. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't played XCOM in a long time either. Nothing. Well, dang. Look at a big old papa over there. Hey, buddy. Let's get in here. Let me read some of the chat. Turn-based, yeah, a bit clunky, but we've moved on. I mean, Everyone said that, and then Expedition 33 came out, and Expedition 33 is freaking amazing. Another, I would say Expedition 33 Clair Obscura is one of the best games of the year, and it's turn-based. So, I don't know. Pokemon sells 1 billion kajillion copies every time it releases. That's turn-based. So I don't think it's a turn-based thing. Light no fire is what we need, dude. I wish. Anything they would tell us about it, that'd be great. Death Trooper says Valheim. Oh, dude, Valheim. Have they announced anything for Valheim? Any of the Deep North stuff? I don't think they have. I think they've just been working on it. Let's see. Nothing. Nothing about Deep North yet. They've been teasing it, but nothing for Valheim Deep North. They need to get it out before December. That way we can do it for Bela's Rest. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I'll take that. I said Valheim or Messi. Well, I don't know what Messi is. I know Lionel Messi. Banjo-Kazooie. Dude, Banjo-Kazooie. I would love a new Banjo-Kazooie game. Microsoft? I think Microsoft has it. I think Microsoft has Banjo-Kazooie. Maybe Nintendo. I don't know. Nintendo is weird with that kind of stuff. But I think Microsoft got it when they bought Rare way back in the day. I think they got Banjo-Kazooie. Does anyone play the Eve space game? I have never played Eve Online or anything like that. I want to try. I have Star Citizen.
You're pretty good.
And I fire it up once in a while, but I've never actually played it.
Keep on making these videos.
Thank you, Saku. I will. Of course I will. I definitely need to get back to the altars, though. That might be this weekend. On your toes. Anything can happen anytime, like abandoned static tactics. You will move on. Messi is a soccer player, just like Neymar and Ronaldo. Okay, got it, Death Trooper. Okay. Got it. EVE Online is amazing and insane. Dude, I've heard amazing things, but also, like, terrifying things about EVE Online. You basically, it's like your second life. Like, you have no other life. You have to do work to pay your bills and then EVE Online. So, those kind of games scare me simply because I know my personality is, like, magnetized towards those kind of games. It's one of the big reasons why I don't play ESO. I love Elder Scrolls, but I can break off of it if I know I can, like Oblivion. I could put Oblivion on pause and always go back and play it. ESO, they always have events going on. They have dailies. That triggers like every like part of my brain because then, well, I can't miss a day. I might miss my dailies. Oh my God, they have an event going on. I can't miss out on that. And all of a sudden, that's all I play. That's all I do. I can't do it. I can't get pulled into that or else I'll never stop. All of a sudden, this is going to turn into the ESO channel, and I don't think that would be that would work to my benefit. It would be to my detriment, probably. Because I kind of get that with Dune right now, and I got that with Valheim. Like, you guys... Let me see. How many hours do I have in Valheim? I have 1,583 hours, and that is only when we play once a year. Like, we do what's called Bela's Rest, if you guys don't know. And so in December, generally, in December, we start a new server, a fresh server, and me, Beeblebum, and other creators, Heather Silvermist, we play from a fresh server from beginning to end in Valheim. I was at less than 1,000 hours before last year. I put over 580 hours, probably closer to 600 hours into the game. December, January, February. Like 3 months, I did 600 hours. Like I get sucked into Valheim. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Ken says, I played WoW for 17 years, quit last year and swore no more MMOs, so no Dune for me. It has that aspect to it, Ken. However, you can solo Dune. There's no dungeons, there's no bosses as far as I can tell. So, I mean, Ken, you can quit whenever you want to, right? It's not an addiction if you just quit whenever you want to. I just don't want to right now. Yeah, I get it. It's the same thing happened to me in New World. I forced myself to stop because I will get pulled in and I just won't play anything else. I won't do anything else. All of a sudden it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I got to wake up and go to work, stream another game at 4 hours later. Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, so I know that's my personality, so I try to avoid the temptation as much as I can. I like Dune a lot. I've been playing a lot of Dune. I have like 68 hours in it, so I'm just trucking along. I'm trying to stay away from the insane 10 or 15 hour days. I think Survival Bob has been averaging about 10 hours a day since it released on June 5th. So for the past 15 days, past 2 weeks, Bob has been doing about 10-hour days, maybe a little bit longer. He's averaging 10-hour days. So, yeah. Zoom! Oh, yeah, you guys want me to zoom back out? You guys want to see the actual game? Oh. Do you guys really? Do you guys really want to see the game? I guess if you want to see... Almost full-time job chasing dude, basically. But yeah, Dune is there. I'm loving Dune. I started playing Splitgate a little bit yesterday. Oh my god, Splitgate 2. Put aside all of the microtransaction trash I saw. The game itself is pretty solid. Microtransactions, the Fortnite aesthetic that I was feeling during it, I'm not a big fan of. But the game itself, Splitgate's pretty dang good. Gotta go, Jason. Great stream. Ricey community night for me. Do it! Do it, Mike. Go do it. And you know what? You know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't raided Ricey. I have not raided Ricey. And I might use that as an excuse. No. We need to find a grave. Let's go do that. Don't listen to him. There's always stuff to process over time. Exactly. Enjoy seeing you whipped by every plant on the planet. Yes. In general, that's what I do. I'm not paying attention enough. I'm just doing my jetpack jumps. I'm just doing that. And I am so glad I found the equivalent kind of thing in Dune. So if you don't know, in Dune, you have a grapple, basically a grapple hook that you shoot out and it pulls you, like if you want to go up a rock face or whatever. You can use it on the ground to propel yourself forward, and if you have your suspensor belt, basically you do a huge jetpack jump in Dune, and I love it. Like, it is my new thing, my new favorite way to get around the map. I just jetpack jump everywhere in Dune now. I do my my suspension jump everywhere. So good. The only problem is your suspension belt, basically your jetpack in Dune, it breaks so fast. Like, the durability on those things is just basically zero. Like, I'm blowing through my suspensor belt all the time. They need to give us a way to just keep that damn thing. Like, give us a recipe or a blueprint to build one that's super tough. That will just have high durability. I'm sure it's out there. I just haven't found it yet. Same with mobile games. I won't touch them. I mean, yeah, I don't like... for me, a mobile game isn't bad. It becomes bad when they do the whole, well, you're out of stamina, but if you spend $2, you can get more stamina. When you start gating, when you start ending gameplay unless you pay for something, that's where it's like, okay, no. I'm all for, if a game wants to monetize, go for it. Like, Once Human, I will say it's a free-to-play game. Once Human is a good game. Very solid, very awesome game. But their monetization is crazy, but not in a detrimental way. Like, they will sell you skins for your character. You can be whatever. And the skins are like $20 a pop. It's outrageous for me. I'm like, what the hell for a skin? It's just so my armor looks cool, that's it? Or my gun has a skin on it? But it's just a skin. You're not getting benefits. At least from what I remember, they could have changed in the last few months. I don't know. But it was never egregious. I think the worst one we saw was they had the little checkpoint camps. Like, if you're out in the world, you could put down a camp. And there was a microtransaction, a package you can buy to get an upgraded version of that camp. That was on the line of, that's actually kind of affecting gameplay, because if you have a better camp, then you can do better stuff out in the world. Okay, that's like on the line. But 90% of the other transactions were just, hey, you want a skin for your character? You want to look cool for this thing? So, at least at the time. So, I'm like, okay, I don't like the monetization, but it's not detrimental monetization. They're not saying, well, you can only play for an hour a day, but if you want to play for more time, you got to pay for more time, like a traditional, like a mobile game. They usually use stamina. Like, oh, you're out of stamina, but you can buy more stamina for like $5 or whatever. I hate that. That's just terrible. When I see that in the game, that just... No, why? Why would you do that? I mean, I know why, but that's kind of just slimy, disgusting. Michael says, actually, mobile XCOM works pretty good. Same and only different. Yeah. And so there are a ton of awesome mobile games that might get a bad rap because they're mobile games, but they don't feel like a traditional, like, terrible, scummy mobile game. One that I like to play would be like Hitman Go. I love Hitman Go. Hitman Go is an awesome mobile game. You're not paying for stamina. You're not paying for any of that stuff. You're paying for like DLC for maps, for like little boards, but you're not paying for, oh, sorry, you used your 5 tries today, so now you have to come back tomorrow. Or you can pay $5. No, they're not doing any of that kind of stuff, which I love. None of that stuff, and it's a really good game. But yeah, if it's a traditional, like what is the stereotypical mobile game, yeah, I don't like that. We've not found a single grave. Mike says, just before I go, be very careful with mobile games. I was addicted years ago. I nearly ruined my relationship. Yeah, well, a lot of things do that. But yeah, definitely. When it starts becoming you'd rather do the game or the thing rather than be with your family or something, then, okay, maybe you gotta step back a little bit. Or you have to do the thing. Mark says, when you have 12 hours to kill at work, killing mobile games is a good thing. Mark, get a Nintendo Switch, man. Get a Nintendo Switch or a Steam Deck. Get a Steam Deck, dude. You can play No Man's Sky on the go. World of Warcraft with a harsh lesson in addiction for those who don't use drugs. Yeah. Addiction takes many forms. And a lot of people, there are some addictions that are okay. Not really, but at least society doesn't see them as being bad. But there's still that. Like, you get addicted to foods, addicted to sugars, get addicted to different things, items. So yeah, and it's never good. What kind of heathen doesn't use drugs? I will say, on a serious note on that, when I was growing up, my mom made sure to like drill it into my head that medicine was never a cure for a problem. It was a help. So like when you take cold medicine, it doesn't cure your cold. It makes you feel better while you get over your cold. That's always how it was framed to me. And so she, you know, it kind of drilled into my head that if you don't need medicine, don't take it. You know, no matter what it is. Now, some people need it depending on your, you know, personal thing. But for the most part, you know, a lot of people, they think, oh, I'll take like when I was working at Walmart, I worked overnights and everyone, you know, took ibuprofen and caffeine every day. And that's not good for you. Ibuprofen, if you take that, okay, it's a pain reliever and it's used to help you with pain. Not use it every single day for years. That kills your liver. You don't want to do that. But so many people would say, it's just ibuprofen. I'll take a couple right now and I'll douse it down with a Red Bull and I can get through my day. And you don't realize how bad that is for you. And it's medicine, so it's not bad for you. It's like, well, maybe not. Maybe not great. You don't want to do that. But you don't think of it that way. It's normal. Oh, he's getting his normal ibuprofen. That's a normal thing to do. It's not, no. But we've been like numbed to it, for lack of a better word. It's just ibuprofen. It's not a big deal. Or it's just aspirin. Not a big deal. Are there any games with more divorces than WoW divorces? If we're going just pure video game, probably WoW is up there. Probably. I'm trying to think of another game. Would RuneScape qualify? Probably. RuneScape would be up there.
Thermal protection falling.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably WoW. Ibuprofen is bad for the kidneys. Anything is not good for you. So again, when I was growing up, and it's not medical advice at all, but when I was growing up, I was always told that medicine is just there to help you feel better while you get over your sickness. It doesn't cure your sickness. It just helps you get over it. Now that is not 100% true. We know chemotherapy, all that kind of things, they actually do that. However, a lot of medicines, especially stuff that you can buy, ibuprofen, you know, cold medicines, they don't cure it. They just make you feel better while you're sick. And a lot of people get used to that. You know, you take your ibuprofen and you feel good. You're still going to be sore, and then you have to take more. And then you have to take more. And you have to take more. And it's like, no. You're not fixing the underlying problem. You're just covering up what the problem is until you're no longer here. So don't do that. Anyway. Jason, you were born before dinosaurs. Andy, that's what I'm saying. It used to be when I worked with people, you would go over to the tree. Ibuprofen comes from trees. I don't know if you guys know this. Bark, specifically. We would chew on the tree bark because it had ibuprofen in it. That's what ibuprofen was when I was a kid. Way back, you know, hundreds of years ago. So that's what we did. Now, you guys, all you young kids with your pills, you can just take it orally through a pill. Well, you just have to chew on tree bark for that. When I crushed my disc tornado. Oh, Trenadol felt heavily. I realized straight away I needed to get off it. Yes, dude. That's the other thing. When I feel too good, I'm like, all right, nope. When I drink my soda and I'm like, oh. You know, it's like, okay. I need that sugar and that caffeine combination. There is no... All right, we were lucky for a little while. Where's my ship at? I just realized I'm going south now. I was heading north. How long? I don't know. Maybe an hour. And now I'm heading back south. So I'm just retracing my footsteps. What an idiot. Well, let's go west. Screw it. Let's go west. It is now midsummer celebration in my country. Most of the people are already sleeping or passed out. Yes. Do it, man. Do it. Now, over here, we'd say take a siesta. Take a little afternoon nap. When you feel too good, Mrs. Jason will be there to with a honey-do list. Oh, she already has it. I already have it. It's always a reminder. When I'm done with my honey-do list, it's like, yeah. Yard is done. House chores are done. Laundry is done. It's Dune time. Albert says, Jason, you're lucky. You had a tree bark. I only had my primordial ooze as a kid. I mean, yeah, I'm not that. I mean, I did shake, Moses' hand. We rode dinosaurs. Did I just run across this? Back when I was a kid. I don't think we need anything here. National Hangover Day. I can dig it. Yeah. It's Friday, too. That's pretty good. That's the best day for a hangover day. I mean, maybe Saturday would be better, but, pretty dang close. Don't look at me, Sentinel. I'm not here. No. It wasn't me. Frank the artist says, I wonder sometimes if my Crohn's disease is a result of years of painkillers too, dude. Yeah, that stuff it'll get you. It'll get you in the end. A lot of old guys I worked with when I worked at Walmart. There's a lot of older guys who they used to work at like the old factory that was in town until that shut down. Or they worked at like the way back in the day when they worked at the dog races. We used to have dog races. I don't know if there's any dog races left in Colorado. I don't think we do. Maybe we do. There's none here as far as I know. Not in Colorado Springs. The official dog races anyway. But yeah, they had all these old school jobs and they would drink alcohol and they would eat ibuprofen like it was candy. And I'm like, dude, like I did it. I'm guilty of it as well. I would go into work. I would drink a Monster at the start of the night to wake myself up and get through the first half of my shift. And then on the weekends, I would take my ibuprofen so I would feel good on my days off. But yeah, some of these guys, they were doing like 800, 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen a day. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. How is your kidney like alive? How is your liver alive? Non-legally, maybe. Oh, yeah. I know. That's why I wanted to put in the legally part, like official ones. Oh, I'm sure there's dog racing out there somewhere, but not official ones. They shut down the dog track years ago. I deal with the pain. It's an unfortunate part of my life. I think that... Oh, look at this. There's another minor settlement. I think that a lot of people are so accustomed to taking ibuprofen or Tylenol for, medication to numb out pain. And you don't realize that it will go away and it informs you like, hey, if your back hurts, maybe you should find something to help that instead of just taking medication. Do you need better shoes? Do you need a different bed or mattress? Instead, no. I'll just take ibuprofen for the next 20 years until my liver just dies and my kidneys go. Then it'll be okay. And it's not always an easy fix. Don't get me wrong. Not easy going out and buying another mattress. Believe me. I spent many years sleeping on a mattress that just was on the ground. So I get it. When I first moved out, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I was 18. I moved out after I graduated high school. When I moved out, my bed was I just had one mattress thrown on the ground. And then it's been a long time, so I don't think I'll get in trouble. I worked at Walmart, and I worked in the dairy section. And every day we would get a milk delivery, so we had to rotate out the milk. We would stock the milk. The milk guy would bring in these huge stacks of milk crates, right? And he would take the old empty milk crates, that way we would recycle them. He would take the empty ones, fill them up with milk, bring them back later on, like the next day or a few days later on, and we would just cycle it through. Well, I got the bright idea of I think it was 6 milk crates, threw them in my car, and I put them under my bed, so that way my bed was off the ground. So that would be good, right? Not when you just have a mattress. There's no support. There's no box spring, no nothing. Not a good idea. And then it was, well, how do I get it back into the building without anyone seeing that I stole milk crates? Damn it. No, we're not going south. We're going west. There we go. Don't do milk crates. I mean, I'm sure you could. You're probably going to need more than 6 milk crates for a mattress, though. I'll tell you that. You're going to need more surface area. So 6 is not going to cut it if you're going to go that route. Don't do 6. Do more than that. But I would also highly recommend don't doing it. Don't do it. Oh, you're going south again. Nope, I'm going west. I just saw a building. That's why I went south. I went to the building. Timothos says you need an 85-pound Asian woman to walk on your back. Options, people. Dude. Oh, God. I don't think I've ever been massaged. Ever. I don't know. Just maybe one day I'll get my wife to do that. And she'll think it's going to be funny to tickle me. That's generally what happens. Like, whenever I give her a massage, it's half massage, half me karate chopping. Jay says, you're worried about 6 milk crates and getting in trouble, my sweet summer child. Oh, I know. At the time, I was a young guy at the time working for Walmart way back in the day. So I didn't want to get in trouble, What else did what other stupid things did we do? No, all kinds of stupid stuff. Because I worked the overnight shift. I worked the graveyard shift. So they kind of just left us alone. As long as things got stocked, because I was a stalker when I first started working at Walmart. I basically put all the stuff on the shelf. As long as things were on the shelf, they didn't care. Make sure it's all on the shelf, and at 7 o'clock, make sure you face all of your aisles. Go to a zone. That was it. Other than that, they didn't care. And then as the years progressed, it went from we don't care to, well, your productivity's not high enough, Jason. That was the new keyword, I remember. When they started cracking down and magically all the old timers, the people who worked at Walmart the longest, were the ones to go first. Doesn't make sense at all. The people who made the most money were getting fired first. That's so weird. But yeah, that was the magic keyword, at least in the building I was in. It was always productivity. We had guys who were with the company like 15, 20 years. They could do, they were doing an area that no one else could do on their own. But their productivity wasn't high enough. And so they would get fired. And then they would hire some other kid who had probably half the cost. And he didn't know what the hell he was doing. And, okay, great. And that's how it was. Or you'd fire a couple people and then just hire one person to replace them. That makes sense too. Hey. Hello. Ken says, one time I found my car sitting on 4 milk crates when they went up to go. How the hell? You must have had you have a Geo Metro, Ken? What car can balance without shattering 4 milk crates? You had to have it like a Geo Metro or a Bug or something. What car? You weren't driving like a Ford, like a 250 pickup truck, were you? Kraslovian. I saw a good sign the other day. Invest in your shoes and your mattress, because if you're not in one, you're in the other. Yes, absolutely. And it's something you don't realize. And I know that if I told Jason 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I probably would not have taken the advice. But now, I love good shoes, good socks, good bed. Good chairs. Have a good chair. because especially if you're doing an office job, if you're sitting down for a long period of time, you want a good chair because your back's going to hurt if you have a crappy chair. If you sleep in a bad bed, again, 30 years ago, Jason would have said, nah, I'm good. I'll take some ibuprofen. Do we find a crashed ship? A crashed fighter randomly. Look at that. And it's a C class. It has an 12%. That's a trash black market one. You suck. But we have one now. Let's take it. So now let's fix this thing up. Of course, I can't make metal plating. Can I make a jelly? I can. So I need some ferrite dust to make some metal plating. And I think I can make it. All right. Let's go it. Crazy Cam says, what are your light no fire predictions? Well, I'm never right, so keep that in mind. However, I think a lot of rumors are going around saying that it's not coming out until the 10th anniversary of Light No Fire or of No Man's Sky. And that would make it 2026, which is next year. I think that's possible. I don't know if they are going to link Light No Fire and No Man's Sky together in that way. I think the games will have a similar feel. There might be some shared like lore and background. But I don't think it's enough to say, well, on the official 10-year anniversary of No Man's Sky, we will release Light No Fire. I don't think they're going to go that far. I think they're probably waiting for No Man's Sky to kind of settle down. They want to be done with it for the most part. They want to have everything they really want in No Man's Sky before, because you got to know that once you release Light No Fire, once you release a new game, the focus is going to be on the new game. And they'll still work on No Man's Sky. They will. But the focus is going to be on the new game. And so you want to have basically all your ducks in a row. You want to have everything you want done with the game done before you do that, because all, good intentions and everything, you're going to be distracted by the new game. It's just going to happen. So I feel like they're waiting for No Man's Sky to either relax, calm down. They just put out the Nintendo Switch 2 version. And so I'm sure they're like, okay, we can't keep doing out. If the PlayStation 6 comes out, are we going to do a No Man's Sky version of that? Probably not. If the Xbox 720 No Scope comes out, or whatever the hell the next Xbox is called, are we going to do a No Man's Sky version for that? Probably not. They want to have a cutoff of, okay, we're done. And I feel like they made an exception for the Switch 2 simply because the original Switch was so limited. No multiplayer, no settlements. It was a cut-down version of No Man's Sky because it couldn't fit on the original Switch. Now they have a working edition of the No Man's Sky game on a Switch 2. It has multiplayer. It has settlements. It is feature parodied with everything else. The frame rate's not there, the resolution, load screens, but content parity is there. Everything that's on the other consoles, the Xbox One, the PS4, it's on the Nintendo Switch 2. So I think that's what they wanted. They're like, okay, we have a Switch version that is comparable to the other version. So now it doesn't feel like we gave them a cheap version or whatever. And so I don't think they're making a No Man's Sky for PS6. Maybe they are. I don't know. I feel like they're at a nice cutoff point of, okay, we can't make No Man's Sky for the next 20 years. As much as we love it, there needs to be a finishing point, because we have this other game, Light No Fire, that we're kind of doing. So we need to, once we get No Man's Sky in a position where we're kind of done, we put everything in there we want to put in, we can move on. And I think we're getting close to that. I think that it might come out August of 2026. I think that we've passed Summer Games Fest. We've passed the Xbox showcase, the PlayStation State of Play. I don't think that... I mean, maybe they'll announce it separately, but if they were going to do something for the game this year, they probably would have announced it by now. We're more than halfway through the year. So could it come out like October, November? Possibly. I think that's a very slim chance. Maybe it comes out next spring, maybe spring of 2026. I don't know. I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later, man, because we've been waiting for 2 years. Technically 7 years now, because in 2023, Sean Murray came out and said, we've been working on this game for 5 years. And it's been 2 years since then, so it's been 7 years in development. I hope that they're close to being done with it. But who knows? Who knows? Get your tech from the beacon. I think I did already, right? I have the hyperdrive module. Oh, I did not get the tech from the beacon. You're correct. I did not go after the beacon. Thank you. I almost got too far away. I totally missed out on the emergency beacon. It's an easy port from Windows to Xbox. That's why we win. Maybe. Maybe. So I think that the advantage that Light No Fire has is that they're using this same engine. They're using the engine from No Man's Sky. The engine they've built up for No Man's Sky, they're using it for Light No Fire. And so everything we see now is possible in Light No Fire. And then some. There's probably going to be things in Light No Fire that are not going to be in No Man's Sky. And vice versa. It's only going to be on one planet. We know that for sure. Sean Murray came out and said that. It's one massive, gigantic planet. And so there's no space travel in Light No Fire. Okay. So that's a feature that's in No Man's Sky that is not in Light No Fire. But that being said, they're going to put it out probably on current gen consoles. We're going to see it on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. And probably on the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2, that is. With the possibility of going forward with it, and I'm hoping they make it more scalable. So, right now, the version of No Man's Sky that you play on PC is very similar to the one you play on an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5 or PS5 Pro. Very similar. You might get a little extra frame rate on it. I got a toxic protection module. I needed that. Oh, thank God. I did get that. Okay, thank God. So you'll get more frame rate, but content-wise, it's the same thing. Loading-wise, and I mean, even frame rate for the most part. Like, you'll get 100, 200, 300, maybe 300 frames on a PC for a place or for No Man's Sky. I bet you could probably squeeze maybe 120 frames out on a PlayStation Pro. So, yeah, you're getting, basically it's comparable. Like, there's no big advantage for No Man's Sky on the PC other than it's on PC, you can mod and do all that kind of stuff. So, they kind of started working towards this, but they're not there yet. I want them to scale like really hard with your graphics cards. Meaning, if I have super duper extravagant a 5090, I want the game to run and look amazing, like way different compared to running it on a 1080. Something that's like, 5-10 years old. I would love that. And right now that's not here. There is a limitation there. And I don't know if it's a self-imposed limitation, meaning they just don't do it because they don't want to, or if it's a game engine limitation, like because they're procedurally generating, they can't make anything really high definition, like super duper insane like this. You can't force this to be totally filled up with grass like every square inch and just massively like use the power of a PC, like a graphics card, to really fill in. Instead, we get this big bald spot. So I don't know if that's an engine or if that's a engine limitation or if that's just a physical decision. Like, nah, it's not worth our time. No one's really looking for that. Only Jason is. So we're not catering our game to just Jason. We're catering it to everyone. So we don't really need to focus on that. I don't know. Well, extreme wind event. Heather must be around. Where's my extreme wind event? Oh, there's a Heather right over there. Daddio says, is there a specific type of planet to find the graves on? No. So you will find a grave on most planets. There are some planets that do not have graves. So any planet that's an exotic planet, meaning like a specialized planet that has specialized fauna and flora, that won't have a grave on it. But most of the other planets will. This planet will. Hot planets, cold planets, poison planets, they all have the graves on them. So you don't really need to look for a particular planet to have graves. What we do is we kind of do the opposite. We look for planets that make it easier to see the graves. So if you're looking for a grave, you want to increase the odds of running into one by going to a smaller planet. Because if it's smaller, there's less surface area, so all the locations or items will be closer together. You want to look for a planet that is mostly flat, like this. If you're on a hilly planet, it's really hard to see that kind of stuff. You want to look for a planet that has no atmosphere, no oxygen, because you can use your jetpack and travel faster. You want things like that. So we're mostly looking for features that will improve the odds or improve the chances of finding a grave versus if there is or is not a grave on that planet.
You're pretty good.
If they catered to you, RIP a certain scanner.
I wish, man. If I could ask for one thing only, like they said, Jason, we will do one thing for you. If there's one item you want to put in the game or take out of the game or change in the game, what would that be? Without hesitation, it would be remove the target sweep functionality. Either give me an upgrade or just tear it out completely. I might, if I had a second bite at the apple, I might say get rid of all timers. That's a very close second. If you're building up your settlement or you're doing the living ship quest line, there are timers for no reason that I can foresee. Like no reason that my brain understands other than there's a gameplay metric they're trying to hit in the studio. It's not a player thing. It's not an immersive thing. It's not like, well, everyone loves it when you build a settlement and it tells you come back in an hour. We need to build your building. Everyone loves it. They've been asking for that. No, not a single person on the planet is saying, yes, please prevent me from progressing in this section of the game with an arbitrary timer because that's fun and immersive. Absolutely not. So yeah, that might be a close second. Target sweeper number one, timers of any kind. I do not want to build a building in my settlement and wait an hour. I do not want to do the living ship quest line and wait a full day for no reason other than immersion. No, it's not immersive. It's irritating. Anyway, thank you, Mark. I appreciate the super chat. By the way, I really do appreciate it. Those are like the egregious things. There's always going to be nitpicky things that I don't like, but I don't think would like overall matter to the game. Like it's not going to be make or break for the game. It's just more nitpicky things. The fact that my technology breaks before my shield is down. That's nitpicky. It's like, it's okay. It's not great, but it's not like game breaking. Oh my God, this game sucks. It's just irritating a little bit. And it's mostly for me, probably. I went and got some dinner. Did he find any more graves? I did not. Tranquil, I did not. We did find a crashed ship, though. We found a crashed fighter. No graves, though. No graves. He's in quite a dry spell. Yeah, I know. Now, I'm tempted to do the suggestion that Captain Steve said, just to see if it would work. Because in my brain, it might not work simply because it's a Nexus mission. And so whenever you get a mission for a particular thing, they generally don't give you a glyph, for instance. You have to go interact with a grave. So the example that Captain Steve said, and it's a really good, it's a smart idea. Go to the space anomaly. In the Nexus cube, they give you out missions. And one of them is to go after hazardous flora. Part of that mission is to go interact with a grave. Now, normally when you interact with a grave, it gives you a random upgrade and a glyph. However, if you're on a mission, it might not do that simply because you're on a mission and you're not finding a random grave. So I don't know if it would work. It's a smart idea, though. Next time I build a settlement, I'm building a base door next to do things. Yeah, I know. Well, the only way to get around it, really, if you want to do that, Timotheos, if you want to do it, just switch your difficulty. Go into your difficulty settings right here. I can't change mine. Go to your difficulty settings and just turn it to creative mode. In creative mode, if you're doing settlement stuff, your timer goes down to like 10 seconds. So there's still technically a timer, but it's 10 seconds. So if I'm doing base building stuff, I will just go to creative mode, do my base building, and then turn it back to normal and go do whatever. Just to get around the timer. Like, I wish I could just turn off timers. Like, if they just add in an option for turn off all timers, that would work too. Let me remove the time limit on building my settlement or doing my living ship quest line. Just let me turn off those timers, man. That's a settlement. Elk. Ooh. Wands? Elk wands? Does it bother anyone else that there are flora on lifeless planets? Yeah. I mean, and that's one of those things where I can see and I can understand. You're always going to have a fight between realistic and playing a game. So the fact that I can fly, I can warp to different space in an instant, in a loading screen, not really realistic, but it's more of a gameplay functionality being fun. So for me, I would rather you default on the side of gameplay. So when you're on a lifeless planet, you gotta have vegetation there because I need oxygen, I need carbon. You don't want a player to get stuck on a lifeless planet with no carbon because then they can't do something. They can't make fuel or whatever. You want to give them that. So it's like, okay, we need to kind of bend the rules a little bit. It says lifeless, but you know, there's going to be plant life here because we need to give the player something, some resources to get off of it if they're stuck there. Okay, that makes sense. I don't want to frustrate someone because they're stuck on a planet and there's no plants there. But I mean, another way to approach that is put that on normal setting. But if I want to go extreme, let me go as extreme as I want to do. Like, let me turn off things. I say, hey, look, you know what? No flora means no flora on my playthrough. Something like that. If you want to give an option, awesome. But if you have to, I would always default to what is more fun? What is the fun gameplay versus the aggravating realistic thing? I got glyphs simply jumping towards the court. Yeah. So in normal mode, you will run that storyline, and going to the center of the galaxy will give you the glyphs. However, we're in abandoned mode, so there's no storyline. We don't have the Artemis storyline at all. We have a little bit, like we have the computer archives. We get community research and stuff, but there's nothing on the space station. It stands empty. There's nothing there. I'm alone. I'll explore this abandoned universe. That's my only mission. There's no Artemis. There's no Apollo. There's nobody. There's no nada. There's no... Polo is not there either. Nada's there, but not really. Like, Nada's body is there, but he is not active. Like, Nada is technically not there. He's physically there, but not, not Nada himself. Gotcha. Yeah. So, and we did that by design. I changed all of my difficulty options to be the hardest they could be. So keep that in mind. Like, all the prices of items are like double or triple in some cases. My resources, like how much I have in my inventory, my stacks are limited to 300 because I'm playing on extreme. So I'm playing on the most difficult that No Man's Sky can be. So it's even beyond it's even beyond permadeath. Like, it is permadeath. Like, if I die, my save gets erased. However, even permadeath is a little bit easier than what I'm playing right now. I still think the autophase should be there. You would think. But, I mean, technically, Mark, the autophage could technically be here. I would just never know it. I haven't gotten that far in the storyline. I don't have my tools to contact the autophage. So technically, the autophage could be here and I would never know it. Theoretically, they're here. I'll just never know it because I'll never be able to get the tools to see them, to contact them. No graves yet again. Same with the ghost of the space station. Yeah, I mean, that should more or less still be around. The travelers should still appear for lore reasons. But, I mean, if that was the case, then the space anomaly should still work as well. So, again, if you go along the lines of, well, it's an abandoned mode and we want to make it different. Okay, we'll remove everything like that. Michael says, I said goodbye to Artemis. Haven't made the last Atlas stone yet, and I have 4 employees that refuse to talk to me. I'm in a weird place. I guess it's time to shop for a dragon. Yes, you should probably do that. It sounds like you should do that. No graves. Damn. Kind of like most of us, we are here, but not really. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah. Landing area not clear. I'm waiting. Like, I don't know. None of us have seen, as far as I know. Maybe Zane or people of them have. I have no idea because they wouldn't tell me. But I have not seen anything from Light No Fire other than what we've all seen, that one trailer. So everything being, speculated on is all speculation. I have no idea. However, I really hope there is some kind of a voice or a notification still that tells you landing area not clear when you're trying to land your dragon in Light No Fire. And you try to land somewhere and it says landing area not clear. I want a robotic voice to tell me that. That way I can be like, no, why? Because it would be strange if there was not a voice to let me know. No room in inventory. Landing area not clear. Damn it. Why? If I had to speculate, and that's all I can do, for Light No Fire, I really think that some people are going to be disappointed, but a lot of people are going to be comfortable with Light No Fire. I truly think it's just going to be this. It's going to be No Man's Sky with a fantasy skin instead of a space skin. There's going to be a lot of the same features, a lot of the same things. There's going to be tweaks. So you're not going to get a jetpack with jetpack upgrades. That's not going to happen. However, you're going to get, like, maybe you get armor. And maybe you have boots, and you can upgrade your boots to make you run faster or run for longer because your stamina, whatever. I think there's going to be not one-to-one carryover, but there's going to be similar things, like your life support. Instead of getting a life support gel and refilling your life support, it's going to be food. They're going to say, hey, look, every once in a while you got to stop and eat something or else your life support, your health goes down. Okay, there's another one over here. How? Did I run into this? Have I been to this one already? I got another colossal archive, planetary archive. But I think we will see very similar things. Instead of a mining like beam, you will have like a pickaxe. You'll have a fire, a wood axe to chop down wood. You'll have a pickaxe for chopping dirt, rocks. Things like that. I think it's going to be similar to No Man's Sky in feeling and gameplay. Like you're going to run around like this, and you're going to be swimming and exploring and finding items and building up things and making a base. So it's going to feel normal. It's going to feel comfortable with some tweaks here and there. And for some people, I think they're going to be disappointed. I think there's some people who want something completely different than No Man's Sky, and they might be disappointed. But for me, I'm hoping, and I'm going to play it no matter what, because I love Hello Games, and Light No Fire looks like an amazing game. But I'm hoping that it is some kind of a combination of No Man's Sky and Valheim. That's what I'm hoping for. I want that you're stuck on one planet, so you're just wandering around and building things, and maybe there are, instead of having different regions to go, like different locations to explore, like in No Man's Sky, it is you're trying to get to different locations because there's bosses or bigger enemies that you can take down to get specialized equipment or something.
You're pretty good.
That you can build.
Any
Mark.
sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Arthur C. Clarke.
Absolutely, Mark. Absolutely. And the thing that kind of opened my brain to that kind of thing, was that there was I can't remember who it was. There's an interview, and they compared the possibility of alien life form. So the possibility of aliens, some people say there's no way. If we had aliens, we would know about it or whatever. But if we had some alien life form traveling across the galaxy, we can't foresee that happening. There's no way to do it. But you can say the same thing in the 1500s. If you took a nuclear reactor back to the 1500s, they wouldn't know what the hell that was. They would say, they wouldn't know. They would die. If you touch this special rock, you die. What does that mean? We know now it's radiation, plutonium, uranium, whatever. So we know nuclear reactors are deadly and you need to be careful. 500 years ago, that's magic. What the hell is that? So 500 years from now, who knows? So that's what kind of opened my, because I didn't even think about it from that direction. Like there are things now, like you can go with the obvious ones of like a computer or a car or a plane. They never would have thought of that 500 years ago. Maybe, they had ideas of that. But if you took like a nuclear reactor, that's something they would never comprehend. Like you can imagine a plane, you can imagine a car. It's just a motorized, cart that a horse, a robotic horse. Making electricity, they weren't even thinking about electricity that far ago, let alone making it. So yeah. Anyway, we're going not going south. We're going west. We're going west. We're going west. Anyway, when it comes to Light No Fire, I just really hope it's some kind of a combination between No Man's Sky and Valheim. I like Valheim has different characteristics that you can increase. Like, it's not a traditional RPG in the fact that you're getting skill points for charisma. You know, you're not getting skill points for lock picking or anything in Valheim. But you do get skills, you earn skills by cooking, by running and jumping, you know, and so I hope that they add some kind of a thing like that into the game as well. That would be awesome. If you could cook food in No Man's Sky and you have a cooking skill, and as you increase your cooking skill, you cook better food.
Maybe you're back seeking your grave.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Gazoodle. I appreciate it, and it's good seeing you. Every once in a while, I think I'm like, oh man, I haven't seen Gazoodle in a while. David, I appreciate you. And being a member for 40 months, I appreciate that as well. Very much appreciated. But anyway, so I hope that there's some kind of an RPG element to it. And it doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to be like some super duper insane, like 5-level skill tree. It doesn't have to be like Path of Exile skill tree. I'm not saying that. But I think that Valheim does it well. It's a very, very generic surface level RPG. You have your running skill. The higher your running skill, the faster you go and the less stamina you use. That's it. And it goes up. And if you die, it goes down. It's very simple. So if they could add something like that to No Man's Sky or Light No Fire, I would love that. Because then it would make you actually play with your character versus right now, I have really good upgrades for my life support. I didn't earn that. I had to find it and build it and whatever. So a lot of people in No Man's Sky, they kind of get bored after they make all the money, quote unquote. When they maxed out their money at $4 billion, they're like, well, what else is there to do? If you have some kind of a skill thing like that, that gives you a reason to keep going because you're like, oh, my run skill is only 60. I need to get it up to 70 or 100 or whatever. And at least for me, that's a good driving factor for like Valheim. Getting my character levels up to 100 is really awesome. It's a big draw for me in Valheim. Because there's a tangible benefit. Your character is better because that skill is higher. But also, if you die in Valheim, you lose that skill. And you don't want to die. And so there's kind of a penalty for dying. And it's not extreme. It's not permadeath. Like, you're not dying and never returning. You just lose a little bit. And I like that. I like that a lot. A device you can hold in your hand that can call almost anyone on the planet and display most of the knowledge on the human race? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I have a library in my pocket. As long as a nip bud, I'm good. I mean, that would be awesome. I think that there is going to be shared things between Light No Fire and No Man's Sky. I don't know how deep it's going to go, but just from the trailer of Light No Fire, there is so much there that reminds me of No Man's Sky. The cover photo, the cover picture of Light No Fire is a big red orb in the sky with a hand holding it up. That screams Atlas to me. And so, is it going to be a direct sequel? I don't think so. But I do think that there is going to be some shared elements between both games. I think there's going to be some awesome, fun Easter eggs. Like if you've played No Man's Sky and you did the storyline for Artemis, you did all the stuff, I think there's going to be some funny things that we might run into in Light No Fire that you're going to say, oh, that's from No Man's Sky. You know, there's going to be the Easter eggs and little touches here and there. At least, I think. Speculation. Who knows? But that's what it feels like. At least I get that impression from the trailer.
Incoming storm.
The Light No Fire, the huge red orb, that is Atlas, 100%. Like, that's a huge indicator, at least for me. Path of Exile doesn't have a skill tree. It's a passive tree. I wouldn't say it's a skill tree. It's a skill forest, probably, right? Dude, the first time I opened up that that page, the skill page in Path of Exile 2, I was like, oh my God. Okay, this is the thing. Now, once you get in there and you play around with it, you can see the branches and how to do it. But if you don't know anything about it, you just look at a picture of the Path of Exile, the skill tree, you're like, whoa, that's crazy. That's a bit much. Is Lighten on Fire only going to be PC or will it be on consoles? We don't know, Daddy-O. We don't know. I would assume, I think it's a safe bet to say that it's going to be on consoles as well. I would lean towards it's going to be on consoles and on PC. However, there's been no official word on anything. We don't know release date. We don't know platforms. We don't know price. We don't know anything about the game. Nothing. So it could be just PC, but I don't foresee that happening. I think they want it to be everywhere by the fact that they're putting No Man's Sky on the Nintendo Switch. So they like having their games, at least it appears, on multiple platforms. They put VR. There's a VR version of No Man's Sky. There's a Nintendo Switch version. You know, so they're putting it everywhere they can possibly do within reason. They're not porting it back to the PlayStation 3 and the Nintendo, the Nintendo 3DS, you know, so, but they're trying to get it everywhere. So I would imagine that it's going to be on PlayStation, it's going to be on Xbox, it's going to be on Nintendo Switch 2, it'll be on PC. Truck Navs, Jason, it's not all skill tree. Skills are attached to gems. As tree you see are all passives. Are you sure? There were active, at least when I played Path of Exile, there were active skills, meaning like ice, poison skills. You can call them passives, I'm sure, you know, but if I did not have the passive, I wouldn't be able to use ice or lightning. So to me, that would be a skill versus a passive. But maybe I'm wrong. I haven't played a lot of Path of Exile. So, to the average person, you can call it. It is the Path of Exile stationary tree of passive abilities +1. No, an average person looking at that, that's a skill tree. Like, you can call it whatever. A normal person looking in, that's a skill tree. A tomato is a fruit. Okay, it's a vegetable to most people, and most people would say it's a vegetable. And if you want to be scientifically accurate, yes, it's a vegetable or a fruit, but no, it's a vegetable. Your skin is your largest organ in your body. Okay, most people aren't considering that. An average person's not saying that. So I'm not saying you're incorrect. I'm saying you're colloquially incorrect. You are normie incorrect. Oh, there's a building over here. I know No Man's Sky first came out on PlayStation. Started it when it came out. Oh yeah, Daddy-O. So the reason why we think it's going to be on multiple consoles is the fact that it came out on PlayStation. So this is not official. This is all speculation from myself. And a lot of people in the community kind of share the same thought process on it. But when No Man's Sky came out in 2016, it came out on PlayStation only. It was a PlayStation exclusive for, I think, a year or two. And that's because PlayStation stepped in after Hello Games. They were working on No Man's Sky for multiple years, and then they had a flood, and their offices were basically destroyed. PlayStation stepped in and said, hey, we know you're working on this game, No Man's Sky. Let us help you. And so Sony came in, helped them out with development, and they signed a contract. It sounds like, it appears. They signed a contract with Sony that they helped them out, and so it was going to come out on PlayStation, and that was part of the deal. And there was a hard release date. I think that, my speculation is, the studio, Hello Games, probably went to PlayStation and said, hey, look, our game's not ready in 2016. We need more time. This thing is bigger than we thought. We need more time to do this or that, or to fix this, or to add this feature we talked about. And PlayStation, Sony said, absolutely not. Your contract says 2016, you will release the game in 2016. And they kind of forced their hand. And so after that situation, I don't see them being console exclusive at all, signing those kind of, they like being independent. And so they're like, nah, we're going to do it all on our own. We don't need anything like that. And so I can't see them. Maybe they are. I don't know. But I get the impression that they don't want to do that. They don't want to run through that scenario again. They don't want to be in a position where they say, oh, yeah, we probably can get it out in 2025. And then they sign a contract with somebody. And then they say, actually, you know what? We're not ready in 2025. We want to wait till 2026. Sorry, you signed a contract. It has to come out now. They don't want to do that again. My speculation. It was console exclusive, but released on PC day one. Yeah, well, yeah. I think that they probably didn't care about it releasing on PC. They just wanted the console. Like, hey, only make sure it's only on PlayStation. Same thing for a lot of games. You'll see a lot of games. They don't care if it's on PC. They only care if it's on the other guy's box. You know, and Microsoft is getting better about it. Xbox is getting better about it. But PlayStation is still there. They're like, nope. We want you to only release it on our box, and you can do it on PC if you want to, but just make sure it doesn't come out on Xbox. Absolutely. And PlayStation's very, very bad about that. Because I personally would love to every game comes out to every platform. Everything. Whatever it's possible on. If someone wants to put their game out on the Nintendo Switch and Xbox and that's it, go for it. If you want to do it on PlayStation and PC and that's it, go for it. But when you start telling people not to, it's like, okay, that's kind of weird. And I think it's beneficial to put it out everywhere, at least for me. To my mind. The only thing I worry about, and I kind of voiced this a little bit in 2024, is if you spread yourself too thin and you cannot take care of your game, that's bad. So I kind of talk about this with No Man's Sky and Nintendo. The hell? Did you see that thing? Hold on. This bug got killed by what? This bug the body just flew over here. The hell just happened? All right. Anyway, I talk about this with No Man's Sky a little bit. Hello Games, the people who make No Man's Sky, they're a very small team. They're like 50 people. And I feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot sometimes when they have an Xbox One version, a PS4 version, a PS5 version, an Xbox Series X version, an Xbox Series S version, a Nintendo Switch 1 version, a Nintendo Switch 2 version, a PC VR version, a Steam version, a GOG version, a PlayStation VR 2 version. When you have that many, you spread that thin, there's going to be bugs. There's going to be issues because there's no way 50 people can handle that. Now, they do a very good job, but I do think that a lot of the issue they have with bugs in the game is because they have like 50 different versions of the game they have to work on. And the Nintendo version is not going to be the same as the Xbox Series S version because they're different platforms. They have different power limitations. You know, there's difference in there. And so you're going to have to. One thing might work on the PlayStation version, but it's not going to work on the VR version, the Steam version. I mean, so you kind of shoot yourself in the foot and you spread yourself too thin. And so that's where I get kind of worried. Like, okay, I love that it's everywhere, but don't bite off more than you can chew, please, because that just makes the experience for everyone kind of suck. Because then everyone, the Xbox One version has problems, the PlayStation 5 version does not. Or like with Worlds Part 1, the PlayStation version had issues with Water Worlds for like weeks, for a couple, like 2 or 3 weeks. That sucks. No other version had that problem, just the PlayStation version. And it took a couple of weeks to fix it, because I'm sure it's because they don't have very many people. Shalamancer says, Jason, I used a port RDMS in communications between various versions of Unix. The more ports, the simpler it became. Really? I would imagine it'd be the opposite. Because, at least from what I've seen, we've had issues that crop up on PlayStation that you don't see on Xbox, and vice versa. There is a bug that only affects one version and not the others. So, ultimately, I don't think it would be easier. I think it would be more difficult because you add in one feature on Xbox that works just fine. You do it to the PlayStation version. Oh, it broke that piece over there. We got to fix that piece. Oh, I fixed that piece on the PlayStation version, but it broke the Nintendo version. Now we got to fix this. It's like just going around trying to find the piece. Anyway, this is my outsider looking in. I'm not a game developer, and I do not work at Hello Games. So I don't know. But that is what my big fear is. Like, I love, No Man's Sky being on every platform ever. Put it on a fridge if you can handle it. And that's the big question. Because it brings the questions. The same thing when the Switch version came out. When you start seeing bugs here and there or issues here and there, people are going to jump to the assumption that, oh, it's because they're working on 15 different pieces like me, like what I just said. Or they're going to think even more negatively. Oh, they just don't care about the PlayStation version. They're only focused on this version because PlayStation had a problem with the Water Worlds. Obviously, they don't care about the PlayStation version. I don't think that's the case, but people might think that. Like, oh, why don't they love me? Why don't they love my platform? It's not that they don't. It's just that, things go wrong. But people might think that way. This is the second fossil bed we found. I still have problems on my No Man's Sky PS5 version and not my Xbox version. And it's going to be weird. And so, yeah, and I don't know. I try to be as forgiving and understanding as I possibly can in a lot of situations. I always give the benefit of the doubt to everything I possibly can because you never know. But like when you run into issues like that, or with Microsoft, with Xbox, in 2024, I was getting mad that they were spreading out to PlayStation. They were giving their games to PlayStation, not because it was going to PlayStation. I want to make that clear. It was more because they were having issues with their games on Xbox, and they were busy putting out the PlayStation version. And you're like, okay, if you cannot even fix your own version of the game, why are you making another version? Like, am I a sucker because I'm playing the Xbox version and the PlayStation works better? Why? What's going on here? Why is that? Is that a thing? What are you doing? When they had patches, the No Man's Sky patches in 2024 were coming out slower on Xbox, and I assume, who knows? I speculate that it's because they fired 1,900 people in January of 2024, and they might not have had enough playtesters to make sure game patches were going through. I don't know. I have no idea. But the fact that No Man's Sky patches were going in late, Dragon's Dogma, a lot of games were having patches coming later to Xbox versus every other platform. And it's like, well, why is that? What's the difference on Xbox? Is it because they fired 1,900 people? Is it because they're too busy with other things? I don't know. I have no idea. But that's the worry. You start making that, and it's like, okay. Are you biting off more than you can chew because you have your studios making the PlayStation 5 versions? They don't have enough time to make to fix the current version on Xbox? I don't know. Or the PC version or whatever? I don't know. But yeah, that's where I start worried about it. You think crossplay brought in more problems or not? I do. It might be a coincidence, but I will say, years ago, we used to have a PlayStation-only multiplayer, an Xbox-only multiplayer. Like, if you played on Xbox, you only got paired up and played with other Xbox players. And then I think it was in 2020 or 2021, they combined all the worlds together. So now, there's cross-play between all platforms, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and now Nintendo Switch. But when that happened, the player count went down. So it used to be 32 players. Now it's very rare. You can get 32 players into a group, but it's very hard to do. There's a lot more bugs, a lot more jankiness. If you have multiplayer turned on, you run into crashes more often, it feels like, now than before. And it could be a combination of network. It could be just what they did, how they implemented crossplay. I don't know. West. I might be just a little bit cold. Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Speaking of that, I need to make more batteries. Oh my god, my inventory's full. Oh my god. You know what? We've been running around this planet for a while, and I've been ranting and raving this whole time. Fortnite Space Battle looks like No Man's Sky. I have not seen that. The PS5 version of the game has a lot of issues. And I mean, and that's what I will say in my own understanding, and why one of the reasons why I think that having multiple versions makes it more difficult is because I have heard tons of people asking about particular problems that only affect the PlayStation version or the Nintendo version or the Xbox version of the game or PC version. And it's like, okay, these are unique issues that only affect this version of the game, meaning they have to implement a fix for that version. And that would lead me to believe there's issues that they just either don't address or they can't address because either it's not large enough, like there's not enough people running into the issue, or it's console specific or platform specific. And they're like, we don't have enough time. We're building this. We're fixing this problem because the problem on a PlayStation is bigger or affecting more players, than the problem on Nintendo. And so it's like, sorry, Nintendo, or sorry, whatever platform. We'll get to yours later because we have to fix this other one because it only affects this other platform. And it's like, well, why? Could have sworn I saw this building, no? Did I not? It says unknown building. Shalamancy says, I'll see your rant and raise you a rave. There you go. Okay. Do a rave. I just want space fantasy without all the Earth mythology mixed into it. I mean, there's Dune. Dune's not really space. I don't know. Would you consider Dune a space? I don't know if I would do that. It's desert. It's fantasy, I think. It has space elements. Like you're using cool guns and you have shields and spaceships and things like that. I don't know if I would consider it a space-themed game, though. Anyway. Oh, God. Rant and rave. I just hope that Light No Fire comes out and it works and people are excited for it. Because all I'm expecting is No Man's Sky with a fantasy theme, a medieval theme like magic and stuff like that. And if they want to, hopefully they throw in a dash of like Valheim or Enshrouded. I would love something like that. Just a little bit. Give me a very light RPG survival game where you're kind of upgrading your cooking skill or your running stamina or whatever, your building skill. Give me that kind of a thing with a No Man's Sky feel to it. Like running around like this on a planet with some cool like leather armor and a sword and a bow and arrow and a shield. That's what I would love. That's what I would love. But ultimately, I'm really excited for it no matter what it is. I'm interested to see what they're making with 10 years, with a decade of experience working with No Man's Sky, working with people, players, and adding in, things to a procedurally generated game. I feel like other than like Minecraft, they have probably the most experience in the industry with procedural generation. Like, No Man's Sky does procedural generation, like, on another level. Minecraft is the only other game I can think of that's similar to it. Maybe you could throw in Valheim, but I think Valheim is a smaller version of that. You know, they don't have as much like content-wise as No Man's Sky does or Minecraft. They don't have as much experience. Minecraft has been around for what, like 20 years now? 15 years, something like that. When did Minecraft come out? 2008? When is Minecraft? Let me see that. I need to know. Minecraft release date. $2011. Wow, it's younger than I thought. I thought it was before 2010. 2011. Well, that was for the original. Okay, so no, that was actually the original release or the official release. It came out in alpha in 2009. Okay, so 2009 technically, with a full release, an actual release in 2011. All right. Yeah, still, I think Minecraft has more experience. Drop pod. Not a single grave this entire time. Not a one. I might do what Captain Steve said. I might just try that out. That's a beacon. We don't need that. Let's go to the drop pod over here. But yeah, 2016 for No Man's Sky. Technically, I think they worked on it. They've been working on it since like 2013. I think 2013 is when they first kind of revealed No Man's Sky. I think that was the first trailer. So it's probably before then. But yeah. Oh yeah, I need to make my stuff here. I don't have enough room! Oh, I don't need that. But yeah, so I want to see with this much time behind them, and not just making a game and calling it done. They made No Man's Sky, and they've been adding and putting out content for No Man's Sky for a decade at a good pace, not like once a year or whatever. They put out content on a regular basis, every couple of months, 3 months at a time. So I would love to see what they can do now that they've had all that experience. And so they know, oh, people say they like this, but they actually don't. Or we thought people loved this thing and it sucked. No one liked it. You know, that terrain manipulator, we like that. That's a good idea. The target sweeper, everyone hates that garbage. We should probably remove that. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping. But yeah, so they can kind of, I do feel like they've used No Man's Sky for the last few years as a testing ground for what people kind of like and what people are interested in versus, hey, this is what we want to do. It's like, actually, you know what? This is cool. We're thinking about using this in our next game. Let's put it in No Man's Sky and see if it works. Let's make a No Man's Sky version of this and see how people respond to it. Like, do they love it? Do they hate it? Is it sucked? Is it boring? I feel like they've been doing that for the past, like, 3 years, probably 4 years. When we saw the staff creation with the autophage, that was like a blatant, like, okay, this is something they're making for their other game, because what the heck, a staff in a space game? That's kind of weird. A magic staff? That was the first sign that, oh, okay, they're testing stuff on us for sure. That's blatant right there. Oh, dang it. No, I want that one. I think you're the one? Hunter? Marsh Viper says, hey, Jason in chat, how's everything going? So far, so good. I haven't been able to find a freaking grave. But, I mean, that's okay. That's not the one. I need to rename my ship. That way I know which one's my real one. That's not it. That might be it right here. Remnant. This might be the one. Yeah, I think it is. Yep, obviously it is. Holy smokes. I got two. Look at all this crap I have. Oh, I have a warp. Ooh, it'll be better than that one, thank God. So, 174 and 100% efficiency. Yes, I'll take that. So let's get rid of this one right here. Hey, where's my other one? There we go. Yeah, we got 2 A's now. Beautiful. Done and done. No, not that. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Oh my god. Yeah, we need to go to a space station and get rid of all this crap I have in my inventory. Good lord. So much. Where the glyphs go for that ship, Jason? Oh, that's going to be in previous stream. You'd have to go back. So whenever I found a cool Sentinel ship, I literally gave the glyphs by doing this. So you'd have to go back to an original one of the previous streams to catch it. I can't remember which one it is. You're in for a real treat, Roland. Oh, what did Roland say? Hey, Al, I'm new to the game. I just started playing today. Oh, Roland. Take your time. Go through the storyline. So while you're playing the game, press your pause button. If you go to your log, they give you different missions in your log menu. Follow those. They will help you, especially in the beginning. They will walk you through like, hey, this is how you use this item. This is how you use that item. Make sure you're following along, and then you'll get comfortable enough to kind of wander off on your own, because this game is really about wandering off and finding your own thing, finding a cool world to build on. There's animals out there you can tame. There's cool ships to find, but you don't have to do that from the beginning. Do the storyline stuff first until you get comfortable and you kind of get into the groove of things, Roland. Yeah, until you get into the groove of things, definitely follow that storyline. And with that being said, I will say I'm going to end the stream because I want to make sure I can raid Ricey. I always stream for too long, and I always miss Ricey in the weekend, the community night. So we're going to go raid Ricey, Starship Emporium. If you don't know what community night is, if you're a brand new player in No Man's Sky, for instance, Roland, what Ricey does is Ricey, Flowery Squirrel, and some other creators in the community. On Friday night, they will host a big multiplayer session, and anyone can join in. And if you want a cool animal, or if you're looking for a cool ship, or anything like that, or you just want to hang out, they will have it. You can say, hey, I was looking for a cool animal, and they'll check and see if they have it. They have a lot of them. And they'll say, hey, I have this animal. You want it? Come on in. I'll give it to you. Or if you're looking for a cool ship, they probably will have a cool ship. They have a lot of cool ships that they can just trade to you, and you can have it and use it. So definitely stick around. We will be going to Ricey's Starship Emporium stream right now. So hopefully you guys had fun. It's been a blast, and I will see you guys next time.